For tomorrow, sunny skies, a high of 77 at the lake, 84 inland. Wednesday, sunny skies again, high of 78 at the lake, 84 inland. Thursday, mostly sunny, a high of 77 at the lake, 83 inland. And Friday, partly cloudy, a high of 76 at the lake, 83 inland. Right now in Madison, it's 73, Green Bay 70, Waukesha 63, and in Milwaukee, it's 69 degrees. I'm Debbie Lazaga, Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 9:09.
The biggest issues, the biggest stories, the biggest forum for talking about what matters. Now broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue. It's Monday with Steve and Carole.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome Juneteenth Day, Carole Kane.
That's what I understand.
Yes, celebrate's not the right word. It commemorates the end of slavery in the United States. Lots of local celebrations. Milwaukee's one of the communities where this actually really started to be a big deal. And there's a parade. Our friends and teammates at the Truth 1017. Right. They're all out there. We're going to have some local coverage on TMJ4, our partners at TMJ4. They've got the parade on live on their channel.
That ends at like the Black Holocaust Museum. Is that correct?
I think so.
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, I actually asked it in the show poll today, because I didn't know until Friday that this was a paid holiday for us.
I didn't know until I walked in the door this morning
Right.
and you said it was a paid holiday.
So many of us who are working today, the Vinces, the Erics, the John McCures, myself, producers, illustrious producer Brandon Snide, big time sports guy. We'll be taking a different day because we're working today. But I asked this question, and I'm curious to know what your workplace does. So does your employer, this is to all of you, does your employer honor this as a paid holiday where you work? And we almost got 100 votes, and I just started. No, 73%, which surprised me, actually, because it's a federal holiday.
Yeah, I would think they'd have to.
Yeah, yes, 21%. We're off but not paid, 1%, and then a couple comments. So let us know. If you're not on the twits, you can certainly let us know on the Old National Bank talk and text line, 855-616-1620.
See, I think Lou at Metromart makes time and a half because it's a federal holiday.
Nice.
You know, I could be wrong, but I think that's kind of what a lot of companies do if you have to work, especially in that kind of, the public sector like that. But wow, 70, that's big. That's a big number. I'm having trouble.
That say no, they don't. And, it's an interesting conversation because even though you want to respect the day, there's a need to still have people working. Like, someone has to work here while everyone else is off.
Sure.
The offices are closed upstairs.
For me, it's no big deal, just because I can't tell you how many holidays I missed because I just was expected to be at work. I mean, this is a job that is critical to an awful lot of people in case there would be an emergency or something like that. You are then available to disseminate the information. So I don't know what it's like to be off for never.
And you and I we worked Memorial Day.
Yeah.
We worked Labor Day last year. So it's kind of, in my sense, and this is maybe just me, I let some of the younger folks with families and kids, they can take the day off. My kids are grown up.
Right.
So me being off at completely or off at noon, not that much different.
Yeah, my kids go out of their way not to be in my company. So to work is not a big deal.
So speaking of age gap, so I was thinking about this. I typed a quick text to my piano teacher, and I used the word gallivanting.
Okay.
And she said she hadn't heard that in a while. Is that not a word that people use anymore? Gallivanting. For me, it means just doing a bunch of stuff.
Sure.
Going, flitting about. I was talking about the fact that I'm off this week. Now, show notes. Wednesday, Mr. Jeff Wagner's doing my show.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
I'm going to try him out, see how he likes it.
Oh, okay. Because he's off for baseball, right? His show's
Yeah, so basically I'm doing some covers for him. I do like a half hour here, half hour there. So he said, you know what? You take that day, which is very generous, and I appreciate Jeff doing this. So he's working my show. I think he's going to extend it to about 12:30 when we have Brewers coverage.
Right.
So I'm off Wednesday, and then my Memorial Day exchange day is Thursday, so I'm off Thursday too.
Okay.
So kind of a weird week, Monday, Tuesday, and then Friday.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. So
then,
you're off gallivanting.
I'll be So 855-616-1620. First of all, Are there words that you use that people go like, I have not heard that in a while? I'm trying to think of other examples. You used one before.
Oh, God.
Canoodle.
Canoodle. Are they canoodling? And not, I have people
That's
that
not
don't understand.
sexual, right? That's different.
No. It's like hugging or cuddling, or like if I see two dogs together, they're canoodling. They're just kind of like being buddy-buddy, like if they're sleeping next to one another.
Because I've heard someone use that term in reference to thinking about something.
Oh, okay. That's not.
I'm canoodling.
I'm canoodling.
Like your brain's working.
Willy-nilly is another one of those.
Yeah. What about whoops-a-daisy?
I say whoops-a-daisy a lot.
I
do.
You and Hugh Grant.
And you know what else? And it's funny because when I was happened to be in the grocery store when I was, this is like a year ago, and I'm tall, so it's not really hard for me to reach stuff, but I said, oofta? You've heard oofta.
Oh, yeah.
Because that came down from my Nana, my mom said it, everybody. So I said oofta, and this couple had been walking by, and literally they sought me out later on, and the woman came up to me and she goes, my husband heard you say oofta. Are you Norwegian?
Yes,
I said,
that's
yes, I am.
origin word.
Yeah, and so she was like, oh, he's Norwegian too. So it was just interesting, but not if you're not Norwegian, you're not using oofta.
Mike joins us from Oxford. Hey, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, I'm a teacher, and when I tell my kids, you got to be here at 20 to 9 or quarter to 9, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
They look at me like I've got two heads.
Yeah, because
they can't read a round clock anymore.
Yeah, there's no such thing as looking at the hands of a clock. It's all digital now.
Right, and if you say quarter to, they're completely bamboozled, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Mike.
There's another one, bamboozled.
Here's one, rigmarole.
Oh, rigmarole? Yeah.
I'm not even sure what the origin of that word is.
I don't know what it is, but see, I haven't found one yet that you've been reading or that we've been talking about that I don't use.
Okay, so everybody knows what this is, groovy. Now, when I say groovy just to irritate people, when I say it, it's like I know that I'm going to irritate people.
Well,
that was a 60s term.
Yeah, and it's irritating.
Why?
Right? Just because right the minute that came out of your mouth, I was irritated. I'm like, what? We're going
random.
to blows over groovy.
How about okie dokie? I still say that.
I text okie dokie a lot.
Both of those I use all the time,
Yeah.
groovy and okie dokie.
Careful there. Someone might say you're old.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Debbie's not old, but someone might say she's old. Egads is another one.
Boy, that's from the I can only think of the girl in The Music Man. It was the Music Man musical with Robert Preston. Okay, Brandon, I know I'm going way back on this one, so just look
He
it up.
doesn't even
But
know what the Music Man
And Shirley
is.
Jones.
Yeah,
Yes, I am old.
When Shirley Jones was hot. by the way.
Yes. So yes, you're right, Deb. And so at the end, she's got a crush on the guy that turns into this drum major. This young girl does, and she goes, "Egads." She says it all the time.
How about this? Lollygagging,
Sure.
skedaddle.
Skedaddle. Yeah, skedaddle means get out of here.
Yeah, well, they mean opposite things, right?
Yes,
Lollygagging
exactly.
means you're just kind of hanging around.
Right, right.
That's an interesting word because I don't know where that came from. Lollygagging.
It's just an increase in your vocabulary. Makes you more interesting.
Listen to Deb.
That's what I like.
It's a little spice in your vocabulary.
Yeah.
Okie dokie is a big one. Peachy.
Okay.
Oh my God. Are you like looking into my brain?
Debbie, she's young, but she's got an old soul,
Well, okay.
which is not a bad thing, Debbie.
Sure.
I'm not young, but okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Chris joins us from Madison. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Good morning.
So,
I just
you have
tuned
one?
in and heard this, and it just got me laughing, and I have two for you. The first one is for crying out loud.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one. And then if you drift a little north up to Sheboygan, it's all cried.
Oh, sure.
Those two are like, what do they mean?
Well,
Right.
crying out. What's the second one?
Oh, cried. So, going, oh, cried.
Oh, crepes.
Oh.
Oh,
I never
crepes.
used
Yeah,
that
and
one.
I don't.
And crying out
Yeah,
loud has
but
got to
I
be,
use groovy.
that's ancient.
Oh, my mom and dad
I'm
used
the groovy, though. I'm using it.
Yeah, I just use it to irritate people. Thanks for the call, Chris. Who took time to call in? That's awesome. Yeah, I have a couple things I do with language. I love to kind of experiment and add words.
Yeah.
It's not word of the day because there's people that do that, and that on its face, that irritates me because you're just doing it every day to be weird. But throwing in a new word every once in a while is interesting. And then, or I try to irritate people with words that I pick.
This was when I was in college, because I was a communications major. I took this class called the History of the Language, and it did that, exactly what you're talking about. Like, we explored the origins of our lexicon and the words that are. It was a fascinating, Anglo-Saxon. Is this European? What is this?
Well, we got a nice mix here. So, I mean, we're going to get all of the good ones.
Sure.
We'll take a break. 855-616-1610 if you got a good one. Oofta, snafu.
Okay.
Juggernaut.
Okay. Well, I think of all I can think of is the X-Men series with Juggernaut.
Yeah. Discombobulated, of course, the famous sign at the airport, Milwaukee Airport. Made famous by, I think, Dan Schaefer.
Really?
Yeah, local writer. Finagled.
Okay.
Whatchamacallit. I haven't heard that one in a while, but that was very common when I was growing up.
Whatchamacallit.
You're trying to figure out what it is, but so you
what is this? It's a whatchamacallit.
It's a whatchamacallit. You're like expecting the person to answer the question.
Yeah. I got a couple of things I'm staring at right now in the studio. It's just like, that's a whatchamacallit. I don't know what it is.
If you don't know the name for something.
I don't know.
What's yours? 855-616-1620. You're listening to a special Juneteenth edition of Steve and Carole on WTMJ.
Don't go anywhere. Steve and Carole return shortly on WTMJ.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Hagenson, Saturday afternoon at 1. Creative Planning is a wealth management firm that believes in a total approach to building wealth that includes taxes, insurance, estate planning, and other personalized elements. This approach allows you to receive advice that is aligned with your unique goals and always in your best interests. Why not give your wealth a second look? Visit creativeplanning.com.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve's Committee. For Advent, I had snoring issues. I was tossing and turning. I was waking up constantly, restless nights of sleep. My poor wife, Kathy, to deal with all that. Put it simply, my nose wasn't working the way it should. Carole, I went to Advent, 30-minute visit, straightened it all out, fixed it for me. Sleeping better than ever.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's why I'm a spreader of sunshine.
I just can't imagine what you were like when you weren't sleeping through the night.
Grouchy, yeah. They fixed my breathing triangle, which to be honest, I didn't even know I had before I went there. Sinuses, nasal passages, the whole thing. Simple procedure, in office, 30 minutes, maybe 45. Back to sleeping through the whole night. Both of us. Best night's sleep we've had in decades.
But let me ask, was it like instantaneous, or does it take like a couple of days for everything?
Well, everything kind of heals up in a day.
Sure, but there you go.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, good stuff.
Great.
If you want to find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your nights better, go to adventknows.com, schedule an appointment today, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
So if you're already in a relationship with an auto service center, that's great. We hope things keep firing on all cylinders.
But if you're not in a relationship, why not book your next date with us at Richlands the next time you're due for service?
All of our locations are AAA approved and staffed by ASC certified technicians with PhDs in
We can fix anything!
Put that on top of the friendliest, hardest working staff you'll ever meet inside a tire and service center,
and you've got yourself a rock solid date.
the next time you're due for factory scheduled maintenance,
Or tires, brakes, and suspension service.
book your date at richlands.com.
Or just Google us. But remember, Richlands is spelled with 2 N's.
And oh yeah, be safe, buckle up, and hey,
Always make sure you have good tread on your tires. I'm Courtney Matchkey with Richlands, and you're due for a date.
clever.
Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
Welcome back to Steve and Carole on WTMJ.
What's your word? We're tossing around some old sayings and words that people don't use anymore. When you say them, they're like, what are you talking about? Whatchamacallits? A majiggy thingamajiggy?
Thingamajiggy. Yeah, I probably, honestly, I probably use like 90% of these. There's only a few that I don't really come to the forefront.
I got a ton of calls on this as well. So somebody sent one in, bug tussle, and I asked them, I don't think they know what it means either. What does bug tussle mean or refer to? Bug tussle. That one I had not heard.
I've heard it. I just don't ever use it, and I don't know.
Yeah. Mike joins us on the phone. Hey, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Morning, guys. How are you?
We are good on this Juneteenth day. What's your word?
Absolutely. So, well, it's funny. You mentioned the word snafu. I just found out about a month ago what that means. It's an acronym, actually.
Okay, for?
It's a military term. I don't know if you want me to say it on the air. But,
Wait, has it got a bad word in it? Okay. I bet you it does.
Well, basically, I can do it without the bad word.
All right.
It literally means situation normal, all blanked up.
Got it. Okay.
Oh.
I just found that out.
Oh, interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah, I just found it out. It's a military term, so it's kind of funny.
All right.
And when you were mentioning groovy, I thought about the Brady Bunch because that's the only time I ever heard that word.
Yeah.
But I don't really have one myself, but my dad would always use the term, that really irks me. And I always laughed when he would say that because it's just, I don't hear anyone else say that.
How old's your dad? Because I use that term.
Oh, really? Well, my dad is going to be 83 this year.
Man, he's way older than me, and I still use it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's not, totally, it's still in use, but I guess no one from my generation would say that. So whenever he would say that, I just got a big kick out of it.
All right. Thanks for the call, Mike. Pat has one. This is an interesting one, too, because I don't use this one, but I know what it is. Hey, Pat.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, the other day I used this term with my granddaughter who's 19 years old, and I said to her, "You besmirched my person." Well, I could have been speaking a foreign language. She had no clue as to what I was saying.
And how did you, what were you saying to her? I know what it means, but explain to everybody what that is.
You smeared you smeared me.
Yes. You said something.
Dishonored me.
Yeah, not flattering. You didn't honor the person.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And God forbid I would have said to her, "You need to leave now. I need to rent up the house." She would still be talking to herself. That is a term I grew up with. I'm from Indiana, and my grandmother was Amish, and that was a term they used for straightening up the house.
Really?
I'll be darned.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for the call, Pat. Appreciate it.
Two very big words. All kinds of things.
Brandon's playing audio. I heard Trump in there somewhere.
You guys are ruining my.
Well, because you got to let it pause there, buddy.
I'm trying.
Hit it again.
I got a word for you.
Yeah.
It was used in the Army a lot. Daggone.
Daggone. Yeah,
it's Southern.
Yeah, daggone. Yeah. Doggone it.
No, it's more than that.
No, it's like grab that daggone.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a descriptive, but I'm not sure what it actually is descriptive about. Like, what does it mean exactly? Someone will tell us. Jim joins us from Bayview.
Hi, Jim.
Hi, Jim.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Jim's got a great radio voice.
My mom and my grandma, they would use this word. I haven't heard this one yet. Pert near.
Pert near, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Pert near, yeah.
Jim, did you ever do radio?
Yes. I haven't, but a lot of people told me that I had the voice.
Jim, you got the voice. If you did a newscast, I would sit there listening intently to the great tones in your voice, the subtleness, the emphasis.
Well, thank you very much. I spent my whole life helping people as a respiratory therapist. But
wow.
I love music. That's the number one thing in my life, music.
Really? I love that. So,
yes, sir.
So when you were doing your job as a respiratory therapist, you could soothe them with your voice to kind of ease them through the process.
Oh, yes. Sometimes I had my arm around them, and I was trying to tell them, please just take in a slow, deep breath and exhale slowly.
Isn't he relaxing? I love it, Jim. Thanks for the call. I was relaxed just hearing Jim talk. We got a pig snort out of Carole on that one. I love that. All right, we got a bunch more coming in, including one from Florida. We'll spin it around the break here. Listening, of course, to WTMJ.
Don't change that dial. More of Steve and Carole are next on WTMJ.
Hey, Sandy, I've still got some time before my show starts. Let's go play some cornhole.
Well, it's nice of you to invite me, Jeff, but I still got to prepare for the news. Plus, who actually calls it cornhole? Isn't it bags?
Whatever you call it, it's all at Summerfest. You can check out Jeff Wagner broadcasting live at Summerfest on Thursdays and Fridays from noon to 3 in the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin Mobile Studio at the Gruber Law Office's Sports Zone by the lakefront.
Cornhole.
Bags.
Cornhole.
It's WTMJ at Summerfest 2023.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Your pain is likely due to a wear and tear process called osteoarthritis. Now, when you combine that with being a little overweight or not being as active as you'd like to be, you get into a downward pain spiral. At Rejuvenex, we control pain by precisely targeting and treating the areas where your pain lives, like shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees, with our powerful FDA-approved treatments that cushion and lubricate the affected areas to deliver long-lasting pain relief. Now, like maintenance on a car, to maintain your relief, our team of physicians will follow up with you roughly every 6 to 18 months. My name is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Pain Clinics. Rejuvenex is in-network with most major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid. We can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. It's pain relief. Really.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Great prices, friendly associates, and brand names. That's what you'll find at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Right now, take 10% off Steelworks welding stock. Pick up a Milwaukee Tool 1/4-inch and 3/8-inch DR 106-piece set with packout, priced at $249.99. And get jobs done fast with Varathane Interior Stain, now 10% off. June is National Dairy Month. As a family-owned, community-focused business, Blaine's Farm and Fleet is proud to show their support for Midwest dairy farmers and their families. Be sure to show your support this June by attending a local dairy breakfast near you.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here. According to a Career Builder survey, the average cost of a bad hire is $50,000. You can't afford to make a mistake. Let LAK Group help you in your recruiting efforts. Their proprietary recruiting process fuses expertise, resources, and technologies with your needs and identify strategies and solutions that boost your company's productivity. Let LAK Group's executive recruiting services help you find great candidates. Visit transformingcareers.com. LAK Group, discover your human advantage.
Welcome back to Steve and Carole on WTMJ.
We're spending some time on some archaic words. Now, on Friday's show, I used the term tchotchke. Nobody knew what it was here. And I thought it was a Polish word, but it's actually a Yiddish word. Somebody corrected me. Yiddish.
Oh, okay. It's just like little, like I'm looking here and there's the bobblehead sitting here. That's kind of a tchotchke.
Yeah, little knickknacks, That's another one. If I said that to a young person, what's a knickknack?
Knickknacks?
They might not know.
No, I don't think so.
That's why we can't communicate with each other. Tex joins us all the way from the beautiful state of Florida. Hi, Tex.
Hi, Florida.
Good morning to you.
How are you?
My grandma used to always use this phrase, he thinks he's the cat's pajamas. He thinks he thinks a lot of himself.
Yeah, do you know the origin of that?
That about Donald Trump.
Yeah.
What's that?
You know what the origin of that term is?
I do not.
It came from a cartoon. The cartoonist was Tad Dorgan, and he coined the term the cat's pajamas, cat's meow, cat's whiskers, all meaning something or someone or something that's outstanding.
Oh, or did he get it from her?
Maybe. Yeah, it's a good point, Tex. Thanks for the long distance call, all the way from the beautiful state of Florida. Now, he said a Trump thing in there. I missed the Trump thing he said.
I missed that.
He said
too.
Trump was the cat's pajamas. I think that's what he was saying.
Oh, maybe.
Hey, he's not unique in that opinion. A lot of people think that about Donald Trump. We'll see how that all shakes out. I want to do a lot of politics today. We'll do some, but
okay.
Not feeling it today.
No, I don't.
We haven't even gotten to Father's Day yet, which was.
I want to tell you how. By the birth of my first child, I got a great story. I got a great story as to how Lou became a dad.
I've heard some of the story. It's good. But see, now you're going to make fun of Lou, but that was how things were done back then.
Yes, yeah. I guess.
Uh-huh. And before.
Just stay tuned. It's going to be interesting.
All right. Speaking of stay tuned, if you stay tuned, now you get the news. It's 9:32 from our breaking news center from our great traffic department here. I think she's the whole department. Debbie Lazaga.
I am the whole department. Thanks, Steve. A deadly crash involving a scooter and a motorcycle. Milwaukee police say a man on a scooter ran a red light and was hit by a motorcyclist near 27th and Forest Home Avenue. The man on the scooter was killed. The motorcyclist suffered non-life-threatening injuries. A shelter in place in Cudahy has been lifted. This after police officers believe they were being shot at. It began late Sunday. Police were called to an area near Carpenter and Packard, investigating a report of someone jumping from one roof to another. When they arrived, they believe they were being shot at. There's been no word on the location of the shooter. Work is set to begin on this week this week on the reconstruction of the McKinley Beach near Water Tower neighborhood. A study completed in 2020 found that higher water levels and the beach's design was contributing to dangerous swimming conditions following several drownings that year. After several options were considered, the Milwaukee County Board of Supervisors settled on hauling in several tons of sand to return the beach to a water depth of 2 feet compared to the current 6-foot depth. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The markets are actually closed in observance of the Juneteenth holiday. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button today. Taking a look at your roads with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic. We do have a couple of incidents. One on the Keefe off-ramp from northbound 43. They have that ramp closed right now. There was an incident that happened in that area. And the other issue is a broken down vehicle on Loomis, but it's right at 894. The right lane is blocked on southbound Loomis, so just be very careful with that. Eastbound 94, a little bit tight from Mitchell Boulevard through the Stadium Interchange to about 35th Street.
Traffic is brought to you by Crest Cadillac. Find them at crestcadillac.com. Crest Cadillac of Brookfield, located on Capitol Drive, just west of Interstate 41. Discover Crest Cadillac at crestcadillac.com.
In your WTMJ 5-day forecast today, mostly sunny, a high of 76 at the lake, 82 inland tonight, mainly clear with a low of 60. For tomorrow, sunny skies, a high of 77 at the lake, 84 inland. On Wednesday, sunny skies, a high of 78 at the lake, 84 inland. Thursday, mostly sunny, a high of 77 at the lake, 83 inland. And on Friday, a beautiful partly cloudy skies with a high of 76 at the lake, 83 inland. Right now in Appleton, it's 74. In McWanago, it's 76. And in Milwaukee, it's 69. I'm Debbie Lazaga, citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 9:35.
Legend has it, Spanish conquistador Ponce de Leon searched for the legendary Fountain of Youth. This wellspring had the power to restore new life to anyone who drank from it. Poor Ponce chased this miracle from Florida to Bimini and back without any success. Eric Smith here, and yes, the secret to a longer life can be, well, elusive. Unless that is, you know exactly where to look. When it comes to your home's air conditioner, the gurus at Austin Plumbing, Heating, and Air hold the secret treasure map. The magic here is in training and expertise. We won't bang on your AC with a broom, tell you everything's hunky-dory, and then take your money. Instead, we'll take your machine apart, examine it, lubricate it, restore it back to factory specifications. Basically, explore ways your air conditioner can be more energy efficient so you can experience worry-free, cool comfort all summer. In the quest for your air conditioner's fountain of youth, book a revitalizing tune-up from Austin Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Online at teamaustin.com.
Life is just getting started at Three Pillars, Wisconsin's top-rated continuing care retirement community. Located on 300 beautiful Lake Country acres, Three Pillars is taking reservations for new high-end active adult residences. With 4 styles to choose from and amenities like a supper club, fitness center, spa, pub, dog park, trails, and gardens galore. The choice is easy as you start your next adventure. Learn more at threepillars.org.
Here's to soaking up surf culture on Wisconsin's fresh coast. Here's to beaches designed for people of all abilities. To sand between your toes and happiness in your heart. Here's to trading skylines for endless Wisconsin shorelines. And to ending each day with smiles all around. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Start your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
Welcome back to Steve and Carole on WTMJ.
Talking about some words that we don't use anymore. It all started when I sent a note to my piano teacher, Shelley, saying I'm off Wednesday and Thursday, so I'll be at piano, and I'll be out gallivanting. And she goes, I hadn't heard that word in a while, which just means going off doing whatever.
Just going off willy-nilly.
Yeah. Now, we were asking about bug tussle before. It means the same thing, apparently, as podunk, which is kind of a remote backwards.
Okay.
Backwoodsy.
Okay.
Rural.
Okay.
Extreme rural.
See, it sounded like a city to me. Like, isn't there like a country song or something that says bug tussle?
I don't know.
I think
Remember the show
is.
Petticoat Junction?
Sure.
Yeah, that's 60s.
Yeah.
So basically, it was like the guy at Hot Daughters? Is that the deal with that?
Yeah,
And
there
then
were 3 daughters.
He was like the local judge or something.
And the mom ran like a boarding house, or it's been a long time. It's been a long time. You ever go back and watch those things?
They're horrible. Come on.
Exactly.
Green Acres.
Oh, sad.
Was that Zsa Zsa Gabor? Was that Eva Gabor or Zsa Zsa? One of the two.
Zsa Zsa.
You sure it was Zsa Zsa?
No, it was Eva.
Eva Gabor.
It was Eva Gabor.
Zsa Zsa was the other one.
Yeah.
Eva Gabor.
Zsa Zsa was the one that married that prince and all that stuff. Anyhow.
Hunky Dory.
Hunky Dory? Yeah, I still say that. Hunky Dory.
So what does that mean in your mind?
It's like
everything's good?
Yeah, everything's hunky dory. Yeah, everything's fine.
Now this one I've never used. Cattywampus.
Oh, you really never use it?
That's not something
That's
I would say.
cattywampus. Really?
Brandon, what do you think cattywampus means? Cattywampus. He's talking to somebody back there. It means things are screwed up.
I was going to say off kilter. Things
Everything's
are a little
screwed up.
Yeah. Catty corner. You know, nobody uses that anymore.
Catty corner. Yeah.
Right, right.
That means diagonally from your from your point of reference.
Yeah.
Snug as a bug in a rug.
Well, that's an old phrase, sure.
Oh, here the Beverly Hillbillies refer to bug tussle quite often on the show.
That's what it was.
That's where your reference came
That's
from.
what I'm thinking.
Here's one.
Yes.
Kibosh. You put the kibosh on something.
I do use that a lot.
You just shut it down.
Yeah. I'm going to put the kibosh on that.
I still say that.
Yeah, I do a lot. I do too.
Anybody under 30, they're not saying that word.
My kids may know some of this just because of the fact that they grew up with it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So they may have a relative like connection, but I'm not. They would certainly not know all of these.
Now, here's one I didn't think about.
Oh, okay.
But I used this word last week. Noggin.
Oh, sure. Your noggin? Noggin. Noggin. Yeah. Uh-huh.
But if I said that to like Anna or Jesse, they wouldn't know what I was talking about.
I'm going to hit myself in the noggin?
Yeah, I got hit right in the noggin.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
That's got to be. Well, here's what everybody's sending in discombobulated from the airport. Yeah, it's the sign that hangs there. You're aware of that, right?
I'm not. It doesn't come to mind right now
So when
because
you
I
go
haven't
through,
been.
when you go through security, there's a sign discombobulation zone or discombobulated, something like that.
I haven't been to the airport in 4 years, so
you've given up flying.
No, I'm just. I just have been unavailable. Let's put it that way.
So if you have a couple ideas, Cattywampus is getting a lot of love. It's no surprise, 262, that the Green Acres, the Beverly Hillbillies, and Petticoat Junction were created by the same writers and production company, and that crossover storylines and occasional crossover characters. Yes, they're all kind of interrelated.
Sure.
I don't know what this one Toofy.
Not twofer? 2 feet?
Oh, I think it must mean twofer. They left the R off. Is it twofer? That means 2 for 1.
Yeah.
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 Let's see. Wishy-washy.
Okay. That means, it's just kind of like you're not taking a stand on anything. You're kind of wishy-washy. You're kind of like right in the middle, make a decision.
See, I haven't looked all these up. If I've had a moment, I've looked some of these up, and they have, a lot of them have European origins from the actual words they used.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
And then, of course, Yiddish is another one.
Sure.
That have become popularized because a famous person used them or a comedian used them in a routine, and other people hear it, and then they start saying it.
Yeah, but we're the great melting pot here. So why should it be surprised that these things became mainstream? Because, look at Milwaukee, the entire state, but look at Milwaukee and the huge contingency we have of all these different ethnic groups. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's no reason why it wouldn't cross over.
How about this one? A horse apiece.
Okay, that's an old. I haven't. I don't think I've ever used that.
It kind of means it's like it doesn't really matter. A horse apiece. So we both win. We both lose. Something like that.
That's a really good question. I'm not sure.
The bee's knees.
Bee's knees.
Which means I think it means outstanding.
It means you're pretty cool. If you're the bee's knees, that means you're pretty cool.
Think about that for a second. How could that possibly mean anything cool? A bee and his knees.
I don't know.
See, I tend to overthink these things.
You're asking me. I say this to my kids all the time. You're asking me questions of which I have no answer. I just know that what they mean.
Now people are sending me obscene ones. I can't read those. Get your ears lowered.
What does that mean?
I have no idea. Tell us what that means, Texter, from the 920. Some more information. It's only at the Milwaukee airport. It's called the recombobulation zone.
Okay.
It's been there for a long time.
I don't know.
For the 9-2, I'm a substitute teacher, and I love to use cattywampus with kids when their desk needs straightening. They love learning new words. See, I love that connection. Old with new kids.
Sure. I mean, because at this particular juncture, a lot of the kids, they don't even know total words. Because if they're stuck in the text world, you is not Y-O-U. It's you.
Oh, you know what get your ears lowered means? Getting a haircut.
Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
You're trimming.
Well, I'm getting my ears lowered next week.
There you go. Now, this one's actually pretty popular. I don't know that I've used it recently. Smidge.
Oh, it means just a little teeny tiny bit.
A little bit tiny.
I just need a smidge of salt.
Take a smidge off that piece of wood.
Right.
Just a little, just to fit it in there.
Yeah.
Smidge.
See, and the younger, listen to me, I sound like I'm 100. They would just say, just shave a little off or do this much more or whatever. It's instead of one word, it's a phrase that they have to use to describe what they need to do. Now, you and I, if you said take a smidge off that, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Now, this is I think a younger version of what we're talking about, because these are the ones we're doing are pretty old. They're older and sometimes ethnic. Cray cray.
Oh, sure.
That's a younger person's version of
crazy.
You're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's cray or cray or cray.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's not old.
No.
I don't think so.
I don't know how that started, to tell you the truth. But I know what it means.
Apparently, smidgen and a tad are the same thing.
I would say so, yeah.
Thanks for this walkthrough of the world of crazy old-fashioned vocabulary. We're going to look back at Father's Day and welcome your thoughts as well. 855-616-1620 on this Juneteenth day here on WTMJ.
Don't go anywhere. Steve and Carole return shortly on WTMJ.
Hey, former radio wake-up guy Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. If that recent cold snap made you think that now is the time to replace those drafty old windows, then now is a good time to call Hometown Windows and Doors. Save heating costs now, cooling dollars down the road with energy-efficient replacement windows and doors from Hometown. Hometown offers the brands you trust like Anderson, Pella, Marvin, Softlight, and more in wood, vinyl, and fiberglass. And all of their products are installed by employee carpenters. Plus, Hometown is the area's only Pella Platinum and Marvin authorized replacement company. Hometown's dedicated consultants can guide you to the best fit and value for your home and your remodeling dollar. Stop in at their newly remodeled showroom in New Berlin and see the Hometown difference for yourself. Or call them for a no-pressure in-home consultation, 414-329-1200, or visit them at hometownwindows.com. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, founder of Right Choice Tax Resolution and international best-selling author on how to have less stress with the IRS. The IRS is the most ruthless collection agency in the world. They just announced they will be ramping up collection activities now that the COVID crisis is over. They can seize your bank accounts, garnish your wages, and make your life miserable. My book tells you what you can do so you don't have to worry about them ever again. Don't bury your head in the sand and hope the problem will go away. It will only get worse unless you make the right choice and step up to get them off your back. We can help. We help reduce or eliminate penalties, negotiate payment plans, and represent you in tax audits. Make the right choice and go to rightchoicetax.us to book a call or meeting right now. We know you want to take the first step in getting the IRS off your back so you can live again. That's rightchoicetax.us.
Cut through the clutter with Axiom, the weekly newsletter from Annex Wealth Management. Subscribe today for 7 insights built and delivered to you every Sunday. It'll help you navigate the markets and the things that affect your money. The Axiom. Sign up at annexwealth.com.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
Yeah, that's who you say you are, but who are you really?
Weston.
I don't believe you. I also don't believe that Hasselus mattress showrooms have no employees. How is that even possible?
Come see for yourself. You can test out our mattresses without any salespeople breathing down your neck.
Sure, buddy, whatever you say.
That's how we're able to keep our prices way low. Our 34 beds from the top 5 brands start at $393. Free next day delivery, too.
I'm not buying it.
Well, if you are buying a new Beautyrest or Sealy Posturepedic mattress between now and Monday, we'll take an additional $200 off the already rock bottom price.
So you're telling me all of this is true?
Yes.
Promise?
Promise.
Pinky?
Pinky.
Wow, you are serious.
Trade in your old mattress and save an additional $200 off a new Sealy Posturepedic or Beautyrest mattress through Monday at Hassellus. Find an employee-free showroom near you or at hassellus.com.
Welcome back to Steve and Carole on WTMJ.
They keep coming in on the Old National Bank talk and text line. How about hankering for something? You got a hankering for that. I got a hankering for a cream puff from the Wisconsin State Fair.
Okay.
Comes from a Flemish or Dutch phrase, to hanker or long for.
Yeah, a buddy of mine just texted me, too. He said keister. Nobody uses keister anymore
butt,
either.
Your butt. Jim joins us from Pewaukee. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Jim.
Hey, hi.
How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
Wonderful. Wonderful.
You and Carole sound wonderful together.
I appreciate that.
One of the things that my grandson said to us after he was over at the house, and my wife said, "Here, put this blouse on a Davenport." And he's wandering around the house, and he went over to his mother, and he says, "What's a Davenport?"
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Is it the couch? It's the couch, right?
It's a couch.
All right.
Yeah, nobody calls. I don't think anybody calls it. Thanks for the call, Jim. I don't think anybody calls it a Davenport. Although I was telling you during the break, I think we bought a couch from Steinhoffel's and it said Davenport on the label.
Well, now let me ask you this: does it have any pull-out options? Like it becomes a bed, or it's got a longer chair? You know.
Oh, it's a longer chair. I mean, it's kind of it's not just a chair. It's like longer.
See, I'm wondering if the word Davenport now indicates a special style.
Well, I can look that up.
Why don't you?
I'm going to look it up and tell you what it. So the actual meaning, piece of furniture that you might lounge on in your living room. It's another name for an upholstered couch or sofa. I think the loungy piece is where maybe that's why they labeled it a Davenport, because it is big. It's kind of longer, or what's the term? Deeper.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe.
So that makes sense.
Sure. It's a style then, kind of. Couch is an umbrella word. You know, my love seat is not my couch. That's a love seat.
It's shorter. It's like 2 people versus 3 people, supposedly.
Right.
This one everybody knows, but it's not knuckle sandwich.
How about knucklehead?
Knucklehead. Well, completely different things, but knuckle sandwich means you're going to
get punched to the face.
Yeah.
Right.
Knucklehead just.
You ever had a knuckle sandwich?
No, but I've hit other people. Not recently, but yeah.
Really?
Let's not go into the details.
Oh, see, now I want to know the details.
Time machine. Well, that's just a
sure.
And what was it? What was the abbreviate? It was your. Now I'm going to not remember what it stood for.
What?
Time. TYME.
TYME.
Yeah. What was the? I should know this.
Yes, you should.
Somebody's. I'm. What's the term?
Is that time machine? Is that an ATM?
Yes, but the TYME stood for something. ME. Somebody will tell me. Steve from Cudahy. No, he's not.
Take your money away. Take your money now. Take your money.
Take your money everywhere. That's what it is. Thank you, Jim from Fond du Lac. Take your money everywhere. That was the first version of an ATM.
Hey, I think I helped contribute to that. I just gave you the first 3.
You did.
Don't be just thinking, Jim.
Jim and Carole for the assist on the. Okay, I got it. I got like 50. Take your money everywhere. I got it. That's what it is. All right.
I don't get too many pats on the back, man. I need one every now and then.
All right, Carole. Patting Carole, figuratively patting Carole on the back. All right, enough with the take your money everywhere. I got it. Thank you for your. It shows people are listening. I love that.
Okay.
All right, since we're on this bent, we'll stay on the words and phrases that we don't use anymore, and then we'll get to something else. I still got to get to Father's Day.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way,
yeah,
this should be the week where all the weather people take off. There's no reason. Any station in town that does more than a minute of weather, what are you doing?
Hey, I like to watch Mark Baden, and he can take as much time as he wants because I think he's a really nice guy. He's a good guy. I say he wasn't a good guy? I see him in the grocery store with his girls, and he's a great father and a great dad. He can talk as long, and he's quite easy on the eyes. So I'm just going to sit and watch him.
Sounds like you got a little hankering for some Mark Baden.
I think he's wonderful.
All right. David from Grayslake, you'll be up next as we round out the 9 o'clock hour on Juneteenth Day here on WTMJ.
Don't go anywhere. Steve and Carole return shortly on WTMJ.
Did you know just one blood donation can save up to 3 people's lives? Hi, WTMJ Sandy Max here. Please join me and our WTMJ Cares initiative to donate blood to those who need it the most. Join us on June 26th, 27th, and 28th as we partner with the American Red Cross and Gruber Law Offices for a blood drive at the Milwaukee County Zoo. Visit WTMJ.com or text BLOOD to 855-616-1620. You can make a difference with WTMJ Cares and me, Sandy Max.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep, switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
Siding Unlimited, named the best window installers, not just here, but in the whole USA. Get the best. Siding Unlimited, 3-time winner as America's best window installer. For windows, you call Siding Unlimited first and directly. SidingUnlimited.com.
From big tailgate parties to cozy dinners for 2, the freshest ideas start with a stop at Century Foods.
Now through Wednesday, save on 48-ounce carton selected varieties Cedar Crest Premium Ice Cream, $3.99. 3-count box selected varieties Magnum Ice Cream Novelties, $4.49. 64-ounce bottle Indian Summer Apple Juice or Cider, 2 for $4. 5.6 to 5.9-ounce box selected varieties Cheetos Mac and Cheese, 2 for $3.
Hey, why'd you throw my glass across the room?
I have to keep practicing.
The vase from Aunt Sophie?
I'm warming up in case I get to take the mound at American Family Field. Read this.
Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods?
You either get to throw out the first pitch, hold the finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field during batting practice. My new TV!
Just doing a little batting practice of my own.
The ultimate baseball fan experience from Century Foods. Return the entry form found in the weekly ad to any Century by July 26th.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. Welcome back to Steve and Carole on WTMJ.
It's funny how when you do a radio show, you're going to spend an whole hour on just something that's innocently thrown out there, and it's like generated all these cool old phrases and sayings, and kind of fun.
Well, it's interesting because people like to walk down memory lane or find out, remember the funny words that they maybe grew up with. I grew up with all kinds of words. Oofda again.
Yeah. I learned you got a thing for Mark Baden, apparently.
I think he's a lovely man.
He is. He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
He's probably the nicest weatherman we have.
I don't know any of the other ones, so I can't. I love Sally Severson. She's a very good friend of mine.
I'm a big fan of Lindsay Slater because she was in gymnastics with my daughter.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. You're in the same same place.
I've never met her.
David from Grayslake.
Hi,
joins
David.
us on this Juneteenth day. Hey, David.
Yes. I got a few of them here. I was thinking about it. Touche.
Oh, yeah.
Use that one or that one. And then skosh, if it's close or you need a little bit more.
Just a skosh more cinnamon.
Foobar I think is kind of a military term.
Correct.
Screwed up beyond belief.
Yeah. Thanks for editing.
Yes. And then my great grandpa used to say "Rubity Boobus," which was kind of a confused or screwed up or in disarray or whatever, something like that. I don't know if he if he made it up himself.
What
or
was
if,
what was it? Rubity
Boobus.
Oh, I've never heard that.
Never heard that one.
What
Yeah.
was he?
Exactly.
Was he a German? Was he German?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Thanks for the call, David. Appreciate it calling all the way from Grays Lake.
I'm learning a lot about the military with their words.
Yeah. And almost all of them have the F word that you can scrub them, but they all have the F word in it, which doesn't surprise me. Now, this is a really common one that is dated. Off your rocker.
Oh, sure.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But yet, anybody young, they don't say that.
I don't
even say it anymore.
Are you off your rocker? You don't say that?
I'd say you're cray or cray.
Oh, because you're so street.
Yeah, well, I'm hip and groovy. I do say groovy just to irritate people because I know it. For some reason,
I hate that
it's
word.
supposed to be like groovy and fun and peaceful, but for some reason, it just rubs people the wrong way.
All I think of is the Manson family. I'll go straight to the Manson family.
I just started watching a series. Oh, what is the name of that thing? With Manson as part of it.
It's the documentary?
No. This is it's from like 2016. Duchovny's in it. David Duchovny.
Okay.
I'll look it up. It's brilliant. It looks at the early story of the Manson family.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
I'm obsessed with that. I've told you
will
that.
Enjoy it. I'll look it up and we'll tell you where to go if you want to find it. She's Carole. I'm Steve. It's Juneteenth Day. We'll take a break for news and then lots more show before we get out of here for Jeff Wagner at noon.
Stick around. More of Steve and Carole are next on WTMJ.
While the warm weather has you feeling like new, get old with a money market account from Old National Bank and earn a 5.00% annual percentage yield. Whether you're saving up for something big or just for a rainy day, Old National is here for you. Earn 5.00% APY with our limited time 12-month introductory money market offer. To earn the promotional rate, account must be funded with a minimum of $10,000 not on deposit at Old National as of April 14th, 2023. Learn more at oldnational.com or visit a local banking center today. Offer not available online. Member FDIC. Old National Bank. Get old.
Earn points every time you shop with Fleet Rewards. 500 points gets you a $5 reward. It's free and easy to sign up, in-store or online. Sign up today and start saving with Fleet Rewards at Fleet Farm.
Hey, parents and grandparents with school out, take your kids and grandkids to the amazing Mind Chef restaurant in Hartford and Oshkosh for super affordable fun in the $2 million game room. Kids menu that starts at just $3.99. It's big food. It's big fun. It's mindchefrestaurant.com.
You've heard about Purple mattresses. Try it before you buy it at Steinhoffel's.
Do what you want because a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
All right, you can stop swinging your sword. Our coverage of the Pirates' invasion of Milwaukee starts at 6 with Brewers warm-up. We are the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 10 o'clock, 70 degrees, sunny today, a high of 82 inland. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Eric Bilstead. Juneteenth is underway, a parade on Milwaukee's north side taking place as we speak. 1017 The Truth's Telly Hughes tells Wisconsin's Morning News there's a lot of history behind the Juneteenth holiday, more than just the marking of the end of slavery in the U.S.
There's so much more to the story, and I encourage people to try to get educated on it. It's not just some made-up holiday that just came up about 2 or 3 years ago. It has a deep history.
Our teammates at 1017 The Truth are broadcasting from the Juneteenth Festival starting later this morning. Our partners at TMJ4 News broadcasting that parade, which is underway right now. An update to a story we've been following all morning long. A shelter in place in Cudahy has been lifted. This after police officers said they believed that they had been shot at near Carpenter and Packard Avenue. Now, officers had been called to that area late Sunday, investigating a report of someone jumping from one roof to another. Now, when they arrived, police say the officers were pinned in place as shots were fired. They believed they were being shot at. Now, police have said this morning that they have identified a residence where this may have taken place, and they say the people who live there are now cooperating with the investigation. As of now, police say no evidence of crimes were discovered. No diplomatic home runs, no substantial breakthrough for the Secretary of State during his trip to Beijing.
He came, he saw, he left with not much. Anthony Blinken, after his talks with Chinese President Xi.
I came to Beijing to strengthen high-level channels of communication, to make clear our positions and intentions in areas of disagreement, and to explore areas where we might work together when our interests align on shared transnational challenges. And we did all of that.
China remains firm on things like Taiwan and Russia, ignoring any and all U.S. stated concerns. The best that can be said, both sides pledge to stabilize their badly deteriorated ties. Tom Rivers, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
Tackling a shortage of blood supply in Wisconsin.
In the summertime, as we are all enjoying the great things about our community in Milwaukee area, sometimes our blood donations are down because people are busy. And so that's why having a blood drive in the middle of summer at the zoo is so important.
American Red Cross Regional CEO and Southeast Chapter Executive Mark Thomas encourages everyone to consider participating in next week's blood drive at the Milwaukee County Zoo. How crucial is the need for your blood donation?
A person giving birth, a person suffering from cancer, someone from sickle cell, a person was in an accident. But it doesn't matter what day or time it is. People need blood 24/7.
Sandy Max, WTMJ News.
You can register for the WTMJ Cares Blood Drive. It starts June 26th through the 28th. Just go to WTMJ.com or text the word BLOOD, blood, to 855-616-1620. Sports, traffic, and weather next. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:03.
Ready for summer travel? Start with a trip to Blaine's Farm and Fleet. We have unbeatable deals on automotive supplies and service to give you peace of mind out on the road. Like all Goodyear tires, buy 3, get 1 free with up to $75 in consumer rebates when you buy 4. 14-ounce Black Diamond Avalanche refrigerant kits, just $17.49. Rewards members save an extra $1. And 200-count boxes of Blue Shop towels, $10.99. Rewards members pay just $9.99.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Wisconsin weather can put a damper on things, but don't let it ruin your outdoor plans. Sister Bay Furniture is furniture built in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Built from premium, sustainable materials, Sister Bay Furniture endures the grueling conditions of Wisconsin weather. That's commercial-grade quality for your outdoor space. Stop by their showroom today, located out in Sussex on Executive Drive, or visit their website today at sisterbayfurniture.com. Sister Bay Furniture, built in Wisconsin for Wisconsin.
A wiser way to build your wealth.
A wiser way to build your wealth starts with choosing a financial planning firm that is fee-only, because it means they work for you. Fee-only firms like Financial Strategies, Inc. don't work for a bank or brokerage firm or an insurance company or mutual fund company, because we don't want our decisions for your best interest compromised in any way. We work for you, and only in your best interest. And fee-only means the success we care about most is yours. Ask your advisor, are you 100% fee-only for 100% of your clients 100% of the time? If they answer no, get a second opinion. I'm Jim Cantrell with Financial Strategies, Inc., a fee-only, comprehensive financial planning firm. And I believe we can show you a wiser way to build your wealth. So go to financialstrategiesinc.com and schedule a no-cost consultation.
Financial strategies, a wiser way to build your wealth.
The Milwaukee Brewers scored 4 runs in the 8th inning on their way to the 5-2 win over the Pirates on Sunday afternoon to complete the weekend series sweep, winning their 3rd game in a row. Next up for the first-place crew is the first-place Arizona Diamondbacks tonight to begin a 3-game set over at American Family Field. Coverage gets underway at 6:35. The Washington Wizards are finalizing a trade to send 3-time All-Star guard Bradley Beal to the Phoenix Suns for a package that is expected to include Chris Paul, Landry Shamet, as well as several second-round picks and picks swap. And lastly, to golf, as Wyndham Clark held off Rory McIlroy, Scottie Scheffler, and Ricky Fowler in the final round to win the 123rd U.S. Open. I'm Brandon Snide, WTMJ Sports.
Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Lots of slowdowns on the roadways right now. 43 north and south. It's very slow because of a couple of accidents. So here's what we got. We have an accident right around North Avenue on 43 North. This is disabled. It's on the left lane in the shoulder there, but it's also slowing things down because of it. Also, we have southbound 43 right around Capitol Drive. Some slowdowns in that stretch as well. Of course, there is some road work being done now that's causing some problems. And we also have a closure The exit to Keith Atkinson from 43 North, that's closed because of an incident that they've been dealing with there. So because of that, and of course because of the parade, we're seeing some slowdowns in that stretch. Meanwhile, 4145 northbound, this is north of the Zoo interchange. There's a crash right around North Avenue, which has the left lane blocked, and because of that, you're seeing slow driving heading north on 4145. And then finally, because of more road work, 94 eastbound is slow. This is right around the stadium, of course, still losing a lane there for the midday as they do construction in that stretch.
I'm Brett Matschke, and you're due for service.
Richlawn's Tire and Service Centers. 5 locations and all easy to find. Visit richlawns.com when you're due for service.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast, sunny today, a high of 82. Tonight, clear, a low of 60 for your Tuesday, sunny, a high of 84. Wednesday, sunny, a high of 84. Thursday, sunny, a high of 83. Friday, partly cloudy and a high of 83 degrees. Week's looking pretty nice. Right now in Madison, it is currently 73 degrees. Green Bay's at 74, Waukesha 75, and Milwaukee 70. I'm Eric Bilstead, Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:08.
The biggest issues, the biggest stories, the biggest forum for talking about what matters. Now broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue. It's Monday with Steve and Carole.
Happy Monday, everybody. Juneteenth Day, so the parade is ongoing in the streets of Milwaukee, and a lot of different programming on our other stations, ESPN 94.5 and The Troop 101.7, but we're doing it the regular way on this Monday.
Right.
That was a fascinating hour talking about nothing. I love that.
Well, you know what? It's one of those situations, like I said, where people, it's fun it's like almost a brain scramble for them as they try to access the files and figure it out. So
they dust off that part of the gray matter.
Exactly.
From the 2-6, a couple little tidbits before we get to the Father's Day segment of the show.
All right.
Carole, with you all the way on Mark Baden, Hubba Hubba.
I speak the truth. And you know what? He is the kindest man.
He's a super nice guy.
Nice guy.
And smarts, which I appreciate.
Yeah. Yep.
And we shared a contractor at one point years ago. He went from my house to his house, back and forth.
Oh, well, look at that.
He would try to pry him away from my project to get his done, and then vice versa.
Okay.
It was like this war of projects.
This war of media giants?
And they both turned out great.
Okay, great.
Now my sunroom was the
Oh,
contract.
sure. Okay. Yeah, no, that worked out well.
A couple things. Steve says use hip and groovy in the same sentence. There you go.
I'm kind of embarrassed for you.
No, I like it. I do it to antagonize in a fun way. So my wife,
hip.
Kathy, says I'm not hip, but I beg to disagree.
Please don't get me in trouble. Are you asking me whether or not you're hip?
Yes, and the answer is yes, so you don't have to spend any more time on it.
Come on, man. I think my silence speaks for itself, right, Brandon? There you go.
That's just stupid. All right. So some love for fathers. Father's Day was yesterday. Thanks to my daughters. They reached out.
Good.
Chrissy came up. My youngest daughter came up with my granddaughter, grandson. We had a blast. I was chasing wiffle balls around the yard and soccer balls. And
oh, that's fun.
I
knew you were spending the day with family.
I said I knocked out 5 miles on
your little smartwatch?
Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
5 miles.
Did you have yourself another hamburger or a brat just because you knocked out 5 miles?
I had an extra brat. I did.
I figured
what else
would.
I had? Once they left, this guy had a nice ice cold Miller High Life and a nice big tall glass of Merlot.
Oh, good for you.
I celebrated. I got some cigars from my daughters as well. I didn't smoke any yesterday, but I'm off Wednesday and Thursday. I may smoke 1 or 2 then.
I would expect that you would. I'm going to say my bet's in that department. Yes. Well, Lou didn't. Lou had to work, so we kind of had our Father's Day celebration on Saturday night when he got home from work, and then Liz made some homemade. She made her own sauerkraut and she made some pierogas for him yesterday.
Homemade
sauerkraut, homemade pierogas. Yeah.
A lot of cooking going on up there.
But I always laugh about Father's Day with Lou because. And I'm going to tell this story, and it's going to sound like I'm selling him out, and yeah, I probably am. So Here's what happened. I went into labor while I was doing my other radio show. And so I ran home and I gave him a call and I said, hey, you want to be here? I think you should get here, yada, 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 yada.
This is your first child?
This is with Elizabeth, yes. Okay. So he gets there. We get down to the West Allis Memorial where my doctor practiced out of. And so we're down there and they get me in and he looks at me and he goes, hey, looks like it's going to be a while. So I'm going to go home and take care of Elsa, which was our dog, make sure she's okay, because if we're in it for the long haul, I want to make sure she's going to be fine. I'm like, fine. You're hovering anyhow, so just get out of here.
Very thoughtful of him.
So off he goes, and in the interim, this is before the advent of cell phones and stuff, right? Nobody had one.
A-phones.
And so the doc comes in and he goes, something's wrong. We got to figure it out. And they figured out that Liz had flipped and she was transverse breech and she's underneath my diaphragm and they need to go in and do an emergency C-section. Holy crap. So I'm calling and calling and calling and calling and calling. Lou's nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. And so finally I called a girlfriend and I go, can you get down here and help me? Because I'm not doing this by myself. So my doctor, they wheel me into the room. They strap you down so you can't move.
Well, you're having surgery, basically.
Yeah, so they strap you down.
Not basically, you are having surgery.
And the curtain's up, and all of a sudden my OB walks in and he goes, he's here. I don't know where he's been, but he's got flowers. Okay. So Lou comes in.
Nice touch.
And right. So he comes in. I'm in labor, dude. So he comes in and he stands by my shoulder and he leans down to say something to me. And I turn and I look at him and I go, have you been drinking? And he said, well, they said it was going to be a while. So I made myself a couple of cocktails and walked down the neighborhood telling everybody we're having a baby. And I went, are you kidding me? Then to top it off, so they take Elizabeth out. Yeah, you got a baby girl. He walks around by where the OB is. And it's like he's a major league pitcher. A major league catcher. That's the stance he's got. I can see him past the curtain. And I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, this is amazing. Your uterus is on the left, completely out of your body and on the left side. And I went, if you can't put it back where it came from... you get away from the doctor.
Also, he's got implements in his hand. Lou's doing the...
And so he came walking over. I said, you're in enough trouble. You've been drinking. You've had a couple of cocktails and you left me here by myself.
All right. So let me defend Lou.
Oh, please.
Lou's a little bit older than you or I.
He's 75.
Okay.
Yes.
So of that era, that was the end of the women goes off, has the baby, guy just waits for the news, smokes a cigar with his buddies, has a drink.
Out in the waiting room.
That's how it went.
Right.
And probably right around that time, men younger than that said, hey, maybe we should be involved in this. And then women said, oh, maybe you should.
Uh-huh.
So that was the changing of the guard, really. So I'm not going to blame Lou for being old school, because that's what guys did. They smoked the cigars. They told their buddies they had a boy or girl, and they went on about their day. They probably golfed while the woman was in the hospital recovering.
Well, I will say with Alex, because Alex was way, way premature, and there were about 20 people in the room when he was born. I told Lou, I said, get out.
Yeah.
Get out. Because I cannot guarantee that you wouldn't don some scrubs and come in here with some instruments and pretend that you know what you're doing. No.
Yeah, I think we've actually gone too far the other way.
That we have.
There's like a million people in the room and all that stuff. Now, I know everybody doesn't do that.
But, but in all honesty, I kid because I love, but he's been the greatest dad. He's been the greatest dad to my kids. Alex and Elizabeth just adore him, and that's the way it should be.
See? Old school wins the day.
I will never forget it, though. Your uterus is on the left side of your body. What?
That's a pretty graphic description.
What?
That you don't probably want to hear in that moment.
I'm still on the table.
Yeah.
He's trying to close me up. What?
Well, it all worked out.
That would be me, Donnie. Okay, I could put the gloves on.
All right, we're going to shift gears.
Okay.
Have you ever had a boss
Yeah.
It just drove you. I have some boss stories. They weren't my boss, but I knew of them because I was a manager for a long time.
So bad boss stories?
Yeah, bad things you could never do now as a boss.
Oh, I got a couple of them.
Oh, yeah. There's got to be some good ones.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are off today for Juneteenth, so probably a good day to talk about your boss because you're not in the room with them or in the building.
Sure.
If you have a boss story, worst boss stories, 855-616-1620. I want to hear them on the Old National Bank Talk and Text line. Quick break here on WTMJ.
You're listening to Steve and Carole on WTMJ.
Everything you need to know on your way home.
A Milwaukee County Board supervisor was attacked at Mayfair Mall on Monday.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News with John McCure.
Paul Farrow, the Waukesha County executive, just texted me and said I'm a wuss.
Sandy Max.
Dado was big on being a good citizen, being friendly, being kind, participating in our country's politics.
And Greg Matzik.
What the Brewers do at this year's trade deadline may speak volumes for how that front office views the team.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on WTMJ.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Kefever. Heiser Automotive. I am driving. I asked to drive a pre-owned. Just see what the experience was like. Right now I'm driving a 2021 Lincoln Corsair. Perfect for all of our changing weather. I went from winter to spring to summer, and now summer's amazing. Great gas mileage. Here's what you get with this. 6-year, 100,000-mile comprehensive warranty coverage. 200-point inspection process, vehicle history report, 24-hour roadside assistance. Oh, and no, by the way, Carole, they're throwing a tank of fuel, fresh oil, and new wiper blades.
Wow, that's a deal.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that's really cool. I like the 6 years thing.
Yes, so you know that you're getting a quality vehicle that has been maintained and will be maintained in the future. So they're doing a lot of things at Heiser to get your business. They are great at customer service. I've said that over and over again, both as a customer and a spokesperson. No hidden market adjustment fees. All pricing under MSRP, all the great programs, vehicle exchange, roadside assistance, so much more. Visit Hydra.com for details or go to one of 5 of their great locations. That's why they say every day, today's your day.
This is going to be interesting, so pay attention.
Mountains and trees.
Ducks and hunting dogs.
Dinosaur bones.
Meteorites.
Steel that's carved like the leather stirrups on a Western saddle.
Damascus steel.
Like they make swords out of.
Carbon fiber.
Hardwood.
Manly things.
Hardwood.
You already said that.
I know. I just like the sound of it. Hardwood.
It does have a nice ring to it.
Ring. I see what you did there.
I'm sorry. I got us off track.
Kessler's has wedding bands for men.
Real men.
Made of manly things.
He wants you to wear a big, beautiful diamond so that everyone you meet will know how much he loves you.
Why not insist that he wear something equally cool?
You'll tell your grandkids about the day you went shopping for this wedding band at Kessler's when they ask,
"Where did you get such a cool ring? And what is it made of?"
Welcome to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you,
go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
Welcome back to Steve and Carole on WTMJ.
People say I am the best boss. They go, "God, we've never worked in a place like this before. You're hilarious. And you get the best out of us." I think that pretty much sums it up.
From The Office, Steve Carell. We can argue about whether he was that or not. Certainly was funny.
I never have watched The Office.
Seriously?
Hand to God, yes, never.
So if I say the name Dwight Schrute, you wouldn't know who that is?
No, I know who it is.
Oh, okay.
I know who the characters are.
Okay.
I just never watched an episode.
Why is that?
I don't know. It never tripped my trigger. It's just not one.
You like the old love stories.
I either like dramatic horror or a rom-com. I'm all in on the horror stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Yeah, you sent me one, and I said, I watched it for 5 minutes. I go, this is not happening.
A smile.
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
Okay. I don't get creeped out. I love, somebody said to me, actually over the weekend, I couldn't watch that. And I said, I love to be scared. I don't know why. It's always been that way. Since my mom thought I was going to be in a cult.
And before I forget, Aquarius with David Duchovny about the early days of the Manson story.
I know what I'm watching.
Netflix.
That's this afternoon.
I only seen the first 2 episodes. Brilliant.
Okay.
And it's not a new show. I think it was around like 2017, 2016.
It says 2015 on the website.
Okay, so older show, but I'm surprised it didn't get more buzz. It was on NBC originally, and I didn't watch it then. But it is good.
I'm gonna watch it this afternoon. I told you off the air I'm still hooked on From. on MGM Plus.
Yeah.
I love that thing.
We're asking about boss stories. Here's a quick one from my many days as a manager in a private sector job, which I did for 28 years, retired from, before I became mayor and before I became a radio host.
Yes.
All right. This boss in his home office, because we were remote workers, a group of field workers working in television across the country. On his shelf behind his chair of his desk, he had a shotgun shell with each employee's name on it on the back shelf.
Oh, my. Well, that's motivational. What?
Yeah, for years had that.
What? Who does that? How in that does...
This is probably the 80s, where there was less rules, less... I don't think a lot of places had HR people yet.
Yeah.
Not to the degree we have now.
I've had some interesting bosses in the fact of being a woman in a male-dominated broadcasting world that have done things that are inappropriate. But
can you talk about them?
Probably not. But the worst boss I ever had, worst beyond, was a woman. Because back in the day, I worked at a motel. I was a receptionist at a motel. I took some time off from school and I came back home and she was the manager of the office, and she sat in this back office, and literally, it was like, go get some sun, get outside. She was as pale, she looked corpse-like. She was so white but she made my life a living hell because I was a young girl who, as you can well imagine, very gregarious, made a lot of friends, yada-da-da-da. She made me do the ugliest, dirtiest things you can possibly imagine that happened
in a motel.
Yikes. And there was something we found in the snack machine in the drop area. She's like, somebody had relations and they dropped whatever into the, and she's like, Carole, you got to go get this thing out. I'm like, come on, I'm 19 years old. Do I really need to do this?
And at the time, you looked like Princess Di.
I did.
You had the hair and everything.
Oh, yeah, I did have that kind of. I still get that every now and then.
Yeah.
Still.
From the 262, and you can join us on the Old National Bank talk and text line 855-616-1620. Crazy boss stories. 262, I had a micromanaging boss who'd follow me into the bathroom. He was just like Bill Lumbergh in the movie Office Space, which is a great movie, by the way.
That's a great movie. But the micromanaging is frustrating. Like one of the greatest bosses I ever had, Tom Jarris, he let everybody, he's just like, you do whatever, and I'll just stand over here in the corner. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We'll try. Just the best guy in the world. That's a great boss. The person that's breathing down your neck all the time, no.
I'm not into the micromanaging thing. I like to empower employees when I've been a manager to let them excel,
Wasn't that the reason you hired them? That's my thing. Isn't that the reason you hired them?
Not everybody's wired that way. There are people who think, look at the classic example in politics. Trump, boss of everyone.
Well, yeah, he would be the ultimate micromanager.
Yeah. Producer Brandon, do you have a thought on this? I'm not your boss, but I'm a great boss.
I think you would be a good boss.
Yeah, see? I'm just soliciting praise now.
He's making me laugh today. Yeah. Not that you're not a great guy, you're a great guy.
Thank you for that.
I was a boss once, believe it or not.
Yeah, in the military?
I was.
Yeah. And how were you as a boss?
Excellent. Yeah. I shammed out of work as much as I could.
Your boss probably would not appreciate that, but your employees...
I was probably with my boss half the time, but you're right, normally.
That's very funny.
Let's not go into too much detail because that is the U.S. military we're talking about there. But yeah, I hear you. Here's one for the 414. Had a boss when I asked for a raise that grabbed his pants by his crotch and said, nope, not today.
What?
I'm not sure the correlation there, but...
Was that basically, an FU kind of a thing?
Could be.
I don't know. That's weird. Hi.
Mary says, I agree with Carole. Female bosses can be the worst. I've had the same experience as you. I am also outgoing. It can make you a target for insecure women bosses.
I've had 2 female bosses, and they've both been nightmares. Nightmares. And I in a world today where you would think that women would want to empower and help women, not the case. I think that person's correct in the fact that, the one that I had a few years ago. Oh my God, I can't even say what I think about her. Really, I can't.
From the 920, Steve, my boss had Farrah Fawcett's famous poster hanging in his office.
Oh, come on.
You could never do that now.
Oh, no.
No, but you could do it back then.
When was that? In the 70s?
Well, it doesn't say.
The poster came out in 1976.
Yeah, so my high school era, which everybody had the poster, trust me.
Okay.
Here's the thing that people don't understand. If you walked into a gas station, more often than not, if you ventured past the place where you pay at the register, there's probably Playboys, posters. That was the world of gas stations back then. It was much different.
You want to know something? My dad had those magazines at his store, but it was you had to ask for them. They were behind the counter. But you had to come in and ask, and actually we were directed to go and have whoever was asking for the magazine to go and talk to one of the male pharmacists because we were young girls and my dad didn't want us exposed to that. But he did have those magazines.
From the 414, about 10 years ago, I had the owner of the company actually give me a pinch test on the back of my arm to let me know I was overweight.
You'd never get away with that today.
10 years ago. Even that's surprising.
Yeah.
Wow,
Wow,
you do that now, you're gone.
That's lawsuit quality right there. I even had to at my first radio gig. But the direct boss was kind of a dip, but the general manager was a nice guy. But because I was just starting out and I was really new to the radio business, like I worked second shift and they asked me, I cleaned the bathrooms. Not that I wanted to.
The worst job in the world, cleaning the bathrooms of a gas station, I would think.
Oh, my God. I don't think I could get through it without gagging.
I would not last 30 seconds on that job.
No.
Like, not for me.
No.
I'll get something else. I'll see myself out. We're going to be late. We're going to take a break. We'll get to the bottom of the hour news. And then, who knows what we're going to talk about on this Juneteenth day. Steve and Carole on WTMJ.
Stick around. More of Steve and Carole are next on WTMJ.
Hey, Greg, give me another broad.
John, be nice. We're representing WTMJ at Summerfest.
Sandy, I've been playing bags in the Gruber Law Office's Sport Zone for hours. I need fuel before we head to the Pello Windows and Doors of Wisconsin Mobile Studios. I should probably take this. Hello, this is John.
What? We're doing this interview. What?
Oh, shoot. We'll be right there.
All right, John, here's that broad.
No time. Greg, we got to get going.
You're welcome.
Hear Wisconsin's afternoon news live at Summerfest on WTMJ.
Advent founder Dr. Madan Kandula.
If you were formerly breathing properly and we just plugged your nose up, you're not going to like it. You're not going to like it for a few minutes. You're not going to like it for an hour. You wouldn't stand it for a day. If we're talking weeks, you're going to be clawing at the walls to get that thing off. And if we're talking months to years to decades, many of our patients are basically walking around with clothespins on their nose and they don't know any difference. They've never experienced what life is supposed to be like when you breathe properly, and so for them, they feel like it's normal. It should be no surprise that many of the folks that we treat have downstream conditions. So if somebody's nose isn't working properly, if somebody's throat isn't working properly, they're not breathing properly. And when you don't breathe properly, it creates problems for your body.
When you breathe well, you live better. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment today.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
In Wisconsin, our festivals and events are in full swing all summer long. Here's to seeing legendary golfers at the U.S. Senior Open Championship in Stevens Point, to joining thousands of your closest music-loving friends at Summerfest in Milwaukee, and to wondering, where art thou, Romeo, at the Wisconsin Shakespeare Festival premiere this summer in Eau Claire. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Find more summer events at travelwisconsin.com.
When a new baby is added to the mix, saving money becomes a real priority. Shopping at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores can help. With an abundance of baby clothing and toys, all thrift store priced at pennies on the dollar. You'll spend a little to get a lot. Find great deals on gently used baby clothes and toys at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
Welcome back to Steve and Carole on WTMJ.
All right, we're late for news, but after the news, we'll be joined by Dave Spano, President and CEO of Annex Wealth Management, on this Monday edition with Steve and Carole. It is 10:32 from our Breaking News Center. Connie Weber.
Thanks, Steve. That shelter-in-place order in Cudahy has been lifted. Police thought they were being shot at near Carpenter and Packard. They found the home where it's believed shots were fired, those residents cooperating, and no evidence of a crime. In Milwaukee, a man on a scooter ran a red light and was hit by a motorcyclist, 27th and Forest Home Avenue, killing the man on the scooter. The motorcyclist slightly hurt. Multiple tornadoes swept through Mississippi overnight, killing one and injuring nearly 24. More than 49,000 homes in central Mississippi without power. Tornadoes struck in Jasper County and Rankin County, which borders the capital city of Jackson. An American missionary who spent 6 years in captivity in Africa says he was beaten, locked in chains, and pressured repeatedly to convert to Islam. Jeff Woodkey tells the Associated Press he and his wife believe the FBI withheld information about negotiations with the captors. FBI says it worked tirelessly to bring Woodkey home and is happy he's reunited with his family. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Markets are closed today in honor of the Juneteenth holiday. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button today. Take a look at your roads now with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. We have some problems out there. There's a crash on I-41 north at the ramp from North Avenue. The right shoulder is blocked there and the left lane is blocked as well. Some problems on 94 inbound from the Zoo to downtown. That's about an 8-minute drive. And between downtown and Brown Deer Road, I-43 north and southbound, looking for delays there. That's usually about an 11-minute stretch. It'll take you 14 to 16 minutes this morning.
Traffic is sponsored by Built Right Furniture, Leather and Mattresses.
For affordable, better quality furniture and mattresses, you've got to get to Built Right today. Built Right Furniture saves you money. 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. We have sunshine today, high 76 to 82. Clear tonight with the low 60. Sunshine tomorrow and Wednesday as well with highs 78 lakeside, 84 inland. Thursday mostly sunny with a high 77 to 83. And Friday partly cloudy, high 76 lakeside and 83 inland. Right now in Appleton we're at 80 degrees, Milwaukee 71. I'm Connie Weber. Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 10:34.
Great prices, friendly associates, and brand names. That's what you'll find at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Right now, save on the Balin 45-inch by 8-foot 2-piece bale feeder. On sale $349.99. 50-pound bags of AgriMaster Layer 16% poultry feed available in crumbles or pellets, now $2 off. And keep your barn cool with an 18-inch wall mount fan, priced at $69.99.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Lake Geneva. It's where families have been making memories around the water for generations. Lakeside resorts and spas, award-winning restaurants, and charming shops are just the beginning of an unforgettable summer getaway. Lake cruises, boating, and beach lounging let you soak up the sun, water, and family time. Hike a lakeshore path, stargaze from an iconic observatory, or soar above it all in a hot air balloon. Go ziplining, visit an animal safari, or see dancing horses. Start making your memories today at visitlakegeneva.com.
There seem to be a lot of mergers and acquisitions in the insurance business. To share some knowledge about the impact, I'm talking with Jeff Salasinski, VP of Insurance Operations at R&R Insurance.
Hi, Vince. Have you heard from your insurance agent recently? Did they take time to personally discuss your most recent renewal or the changes impacting your business? It may just be poor service, or it may be because they've been acquired or sold. The insurance market's too dynamic and too complex today to allow the uncertainty associated with mergers and acquisitions to put your business at risk. Being stable during uncertain times is a valuable asset. If 48 years of stability, local family ownership, and deep industry knowledge are important to you, you need to learn more about R&R Insurance.
So, Jeff, what's the solution?
As a business insurance top 100 agency, R&R Insurance will be focused on you, the client, and not the progress and payout of an acquisition. At R&R Insurance, we know business insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
Welcome back to Steve and Carole on WTMJ.
When you hear that music, you know what's coming next. Dave Spano, President and CEO of Annex Wealth Management, hosts the Money Talker Saturday mornings on WTMJ. Hello, Dave.
Hi, Dave.
Hello, guys. How are we today?
We are good on this beautiful weather day, also Juneteenth Day, so there's a parade ongoing in Milwaukee. But I'm going to ask you right out of the gate here, because I saw the Axiom newsletter, the great piece you guys put out every week, and the question is a significant one. And I'm not sure I know you've talked about this before. Did we avoid a recession, Dave Spano?
Well, we don't know yet, right? But I did talk about it over the weekend in the fact that the economy continues to have positive growth. And, of course, we've all recognized that the definition of a recession are back-to-back quarters of negative growth, which we have not had. We had it, of course, a couple of years ago, almost a year and a half ago, I should say, where we had back-to-back quarters of negative GDP, but the arbiter who calls it a recession did not call that one a recession because of employment continued to be strong, so we didn't have declining employment. So that they did not call that a recession. I would have called it a recession. And now we go into the second half of the year, continue to have positive GDP. So will we avoid a recession is really the question, or did they just kick the can down the road to 2024?
Let me ask you, so if we're trying to figure that out, give me the quick pros, cons on that argument either way.
Well, of course, there's a lot of cons, that you don't want to have a recession. The economy retracts, people's portfolios retract, people lose jobs. There's a lot of negativity, of course, to the recession. There is a few positives, of course, and would be slowing down the economy, would be slowing down inflation. And, of course, the Fed is really in a predicament because they look at how things are going. Wage growth continues to go up. People still need quality employees, so wages have been going up and keeping a strong employment market in place. Of course, we look at things like eggs and other, and travel. So there are still things that are going up and creating inflation. And you can argue that overall we still have a 5% inflation number, which is way above the Fed's 2% target. That's the predicament, because if they continue, now they took a pause, as we all know, the last week and not raising interest rates in that meeting. They did not tell us what they're going to do in July. But if they go back to a rate hiking regime, that could cause serious issues because of where the interest rates are now, causing a deeper recession that could happen down the road, Steve. And right now we don't know. We're watching it carefully. We're watching to see where employment goes, and we're watching to see what happens with interest raes.
You know what? You just took my question, dude. I was going to ask you about interest rate hikes.
Talk more.
But second, so we already answered that question. So let's just move on.
So who's the dude in this? Me? Am I the dude, or Steve
You're
the dude?
That's what, no, you are.
Right, I got
you
it.
are.
I am the dude. If I'm not the dude, I know the dude.
And you know what? You're a hip dude. There.
All right,
now she's just being mean to me because I said it was hip before and she disagreed.
So unlike Steve's not hip. Listen. He has tomatoes, man. I think that's hip.
There you go.
I grow the tomatoes.
Okay, so let's jump to the U.S.-China relations situation. Now, how is that going to affect what's going to happen here?
Well, the second biggest economy in the world, and, there is so much going on. The biggest concern right now is not only the fact that they're expanding around the world. You read the story last week in the Wall Street Journal where they're trying to do some things with Cuba to spy on the U.S. I mean, that is obviously an issue. But then again, you look at the immediate concern, and they're watching what's happening with Ukraine and Russia to see if they're going to move into Taiwan. And so if that happens, it could be a military escalation. Nobody wants that. Hopefully we can de-escalate that situation. But if it goes bad, Carole, it won't be good for anybody, including our economy, because we do a lot of trade with them as well. So just think about the war, potential war, an economy declining. I mean, there's not a lot of positives coming out of that.
Dave Spano joining us as he does every Monday at 10:35. Also the host of Money Talk, heard Saturday mornings here on WTMJ. So what else is going on? Summers can be a time where everybody kind of steps away, relaxes, and all that stuff. I know the folks who do it for a living, like Annex, you're always focused on making the right decisions for your customers, your clients, and investors. So what are we looking at for the summer?
So let's talk about where we are today. Obviously, the markets are closed for the holiday today. So, as you go into the summer and you go into the July 4th, obviously that's the mid part of the year. It is a good time, just think about it as a halftime, to go back into the locker room and say, what did we do well in the first half and where do we need to be better? And so that was really a volleyball, a softball that you threw me, Steve. You certainly go through and say, what can we do in the second half of the year? A lot of people set it and forget it. and they just don't look at their portfolio, but go through and start to clean up. And that's what we're trying to do with our clients right now. Should we rebalance? Should we reevaluate, for example, your tolerance for risk? Should we go make sure that if you're new to Annex, that you're not loaded up with all of these high-cost products that we continue to see and continue to have people sold those high-cost products? Take a look at those things. But more importantly, are you ready for retirement? When that time comes, will you be able to replace your paycheck? What are the strategies in retirement? What are you going to do? Is it tax advantaged? All of this stuff, Steve, is really the time to do that. So as you go through and you say you're going to have a barbecue and have a cocktail and maybe go on a boat and do all those things, remember the second half of the year could get pretty bumpy because the Federal Reserve specifically is trying to slow the economy down on purpose, folks. And so that is going to be some bumpy waters coming into the second half of 23. And then as we go into 24, everyone, I'm sure, is really excited about a potential presidential election and everything that comes with that. So, that could be disruptive as well. So there's a lot of things that are coming down the road. And, who knows who we're going to be the nominees are, but it's going to be a lot of news. A lot of news cycles, probably an opportunity to upset the market, but then an opportunity, of course, to rebalance your portfolio.
A couple of people asked this question in a couple different ways, but I want to put it this way. Have our response, the Fed response, investors, the annexes of the world, have we gotten better, smarter in how we react to these downturns so that we can, in some ways, safeguard our assets? I think the answer is yes, right?
Yeah. I think there's no question. I think there's the disclosure of information, not only from the Federal Reserve. Now, I've not been a big fan of what they did. They were too loose with the policy for too long. That caused a big part of where we are right now. And now there's potential that they're making another mistake if they continue to have rate hikes into the second half of the year. So I haven't been a fan, but I will tell you this. They have been excellent on telling us what they're going to do, to being transparent, and then, of course, following through on that. They haven't shocked the market at all. So that's number one. So that is new. I mean, you can go back 20 or 30 years ago. I remember that the only way that we knew it was going to happen was the size of the briefcase that went into the Federal Reserve. So that's new. So they're really good at telling us what they're going to do. That's number one. Number two, I think there's so much information out there, not only shows like ours and the opportunity to come on and talk to your listeners, but around everything else, CNBC and the internet and right down the road, people have access to a lot of information, so they shouldn't overreact to these things. So yeah, for sure, Steve, I totally agree. The Fed has been better, and I think the financial advising world has been better at being able to be transparent with the information. So that makes people just take your time, go through the process, and make sure that you're not overreacting.
Yeah, best place to do that. AnnexWealth.com. Dave Spano joins us every Monday. I always appreciate your wisdom, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, you guys. Yeah, nice talking to both of you. We'll enjoy the weather. Summerfest this week starting off, and
yes.
Maybe you guys are talking about, but a lot of great shows coming up, and hopefully everybody can enjoy that as well.
And they got plenty of free-flowing beverages down there, which I always enjoy. And great food. All right, thank you, Dave Spano.
All right, see you guys.
We'll take a break. Lots more to get to. Still reading some boss stories on the Old National Bank Talking Text Line. We'll bring a few of those back after this on WTMJ.
Don't go anywhere. Steve and Carole return shortly on WTMJ.
The year is almost half over and you are still dealing with that knee or hip pain, right? Enough is enough. Pills are not the answer, and neither is surgery. You need to call QC Kinetics. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. The advanced regenerative medicine solutions at QC Kinetics can give you a life without chronic joint pain. You can do all those summer activities you used to enjoy. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in taking healing properties from your own body and applying them right to your achy joint, so your joint tissue can be repaired and restored naturally. The treatment is revolutionary, and it's right here in Milwaukee. Patients across America are having life-changing results, and there's no drugs or surgery or downtime. If you have pain in your knees, back, shoulders, hips, you got to stop what you're doing and call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. Learn how the latest advances in regenerative medicine can give you your life back. Call 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
Gabe Colasari is the IT manager at RJ Shinner. the redistribution specialist. Gabe, R.J. Schinner is a Wisconsin-headquartered company, just like James Imaging Systems.
Yes, we're also nationwide, so we're able to get support at all our other locations that we have with partners that they've partnered with.
Simply put, Gabe, you can trust James Imaging Systems here, there, or just about anywhere.
Yep, they're the imaging professionals. It's something that we don't have to worry about, so yeah, we want that trusted partnership.
James Imaging Systems, Toshiba copier printers, managed print services, document management software.
It's a one-stop shop. We have other projects we're going to be working with James Imaging on besides just printers.
Start your trusted partnership with James Imaging Systems today, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed office technology company. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local office technology partner.
For your new roof, we'll give you the hands-down best lifetime workmanship warranty in the industry. You can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. I always thought Vince Lombardi came up with that famous sports nugget, but it turns out he borrowed it from a college coach. And now I'm going to borrow it too. Because when there are 10 or 20 offers on a property, there's only one winner. In today's inventory-starved real estate market, you need a Lombardi-level mortgage coach. One who has all the best plays in the playbook. Going with your bank for your pre-approval is like playing in a professional playoff game with the JV coach at the helm. The Lombardi-level coaches at AccuNet are called senior loan consultants, and each one has been trained by me to help you and your real estate agent work as one team to deliver the one and only thing that matters, winning. So if you've been losing with your flimsy bank pre-approval, trade up today to a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval and a Lombardi-level game plan. And if you're just getting started, why not start with the best? Click on the blue button today and get started with your winning game plan at accunet.com.
Welcome back to Steve and Carole on WTMJ.
Little boss on a Monday. Steve and Carole, it's Monday, Juneteenth. Parade's still going on. I'm watching on TMJ4 locally here.
You know what? They got a great turnout. That's good.
And a nice day. I mean, this weather this
couldn't
week.
ask for any better.
I didn't even mention this. So I have both tomato plants that I planted and some that I got from a greenhouse.
I saw you were posting a red tomato.
Yes. It is now picked and will be consumed in the next day or two.
Oh, delicious.
Thanks to my friends at Tihan's Nursery on Rawson Avenue, Oak Creek, also partners of WTMJ.
Well, I've got the Thiensville Market is going to be opening up very soon. So it opens tomorrow, actually. So I'll have a little venue for some fresh grown stuff, too.
Yeah, I mean, and my plants that I planted 3 weeks ago they're tripled in size, starting to flower, which is good. The interesting thing is last year I had a greenhouse plant as well. The first red tomato, July 4th.
Okay.
So we are, what is it? It's June 19th.
It's the 19th, yeah. So
2
you're
weeks
a couple
early.
Yeah, you're a couple weeks ahead.
I think it's the sun, the warm weather.
I wouldn't say no to that. And that's probably, I mean, outside of the fact that we're in the middle of a drought and you have to carry that water for your tomato plants, it probably, no wonder they're flourishing. Like you said, with the heat and the sun.
Yeah, the good thing is we got almost an inch of rain last week, so I watered yesterday. That'll be good till like Wednesday or Thursday. So thankfully that daily burden is lifted. But yeah, it's a welcome relief. All right, so I got some boss stories. I've got another break to take here. Best boss I heard, this is from the 9-2. A best boss was an old-timer third shift foreman. He didn't care how the work got done as long as it got done and done right. I was working a swing shift job and only had him 1 week out of 4. The first thing he told me was that one of the benefits of third shift was you get to take a nap.
There you go.
As long as you didn't do it out in the open so he could find you.
That's an honest guy. Well, I think that those best bosses are the ones that if they hire the right people, they don't have to worry about them. Let them do their job.
That's how you get future bosses, by hiring the right people.
Right. Right.
From the 414, I had a boss who directed me to violate an environmental regulation. Consequences could have been termination, fine, and or prison. I refused, but it was not pleasant. That is a bad boss. That is a bad boss. Yes.
You know, I told you this story off the air, and I'm not going to go into great detail right now, but I had a boss that put the moves on me. He was a married guy, and he had kids, and I was just 19 years old, and I'm like, oh, my God. You know, if I had been remotely litigious, I would have owned that broadcasting company.
You and I were talking about this before. the rise of HR departments, that's a relatively recent phenomena.
Oh, sure.
I told you, one of the places I worked, we didn't even have an HR person, which always blew my mind.
Yeah, we didn't either. So after this incident that happened to me, I remember I went into work on Monday, and I was like, you got some stones, Carole, because I walked in, closed the door, and said, that was inappropriate. You will never do that to me ever again. At 19.
Look at you standing up. Oh, Princess Di-ish.
But I mean, I didn't have HR to go to.
Jim from Fond du Lac, I had a manager at a restaurant who would ask why something happened, and we would say, well, I thought, and he would always say, you don't get paid to think. It came back to bite him when he asked us, what were you guys thinking? And we told him, we don't get paid to think. He never said it to us again. Clever. See, they were smart.
That's
They threw it right back at him.
Sure.
Jeff, about a year ago, my daughter had to take my granddaughter to Children's Hospital in Milwaukee for a follow-up appointment and needed a ride there. I told my boss I needed to leave work early so I could take them. He told me to have her take Uber from Union Grove to Milwaukee. I said, yeah, right, and left.
There's a compassion guy, huh?
Yeah, right? For the 920, my husband and I are both teachers. One of our favorite horrible boss moments was when asking for a raise. My husband was told by the head of HR to get a second job or a roommate to save money. That used to be a very common response from people that made those decisions.
Yeah.
All what you can't get away with anymore.
Right. I mean, I was even reading stories about people, they were talking about their bad bosses and how they were supposed to put off putting their dog down and come into work. It's like, come on, this is a sad enough situation. Really? My dog is suffering and you're going to make me go to work? It's not going to take long. I'll come after the deed is done.
I thought of you the other day. I was talking to somebody and they were complaining about the long lines at the pharmacy. I said, oh, you know why those lines are so long? Because they're filling pet prescriptions. That's why they're so long.
Man, you just will not let that go.
Oh, not that one.
You will not let that go. You're like a pit bull that's gotten into a piece of meat and is just not going to let it go.
Nope. Separate line for that. Yes. Pet line over there. And you can wait an hour in that line while the rest of us just get our stuff.
Well, I go through 1-800-PET-MEDS.
There you go. So you figured it out. Do that.
It's cheaper, and they always have a coupon.
Yeah.
Listen to me. I'm from Wisconsin. I need the coupon.
Yeah. That's another thing. Coupons. Why are we paper coupons? Why are we still doing that?
I'm not going to download the app on my phone.
Come on. Paper coupons should have went away 10 years ago.
I'm not downloading.
If I ruled the world, they would have went away 10 years ago. Trust me.
Okay, I'll let you have that one.
All right. Fine. Makes good sense, doesn't it?
No.
Quick break on WTMJ.
Don't go anywhere. Steve and Carole return shortly on WTMJ.
When you need news the most.
Police in South Milwaukee continuing to investigate.
In Washington, D.C., history happening on the House floor.
We are here for you.
Looks like we've got a broken down vehicle.
A power outage in West Dallas has affected class at several schools.
We are Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
When I came up with this half-combumbled idea of opening a furniture store in Milwaukee, I still think you're crazy, but well.
Ben and Arvid Huth, brothers and owners of Penny Mustard Furnishings.
Our parents were hesitantly positive for us, but that's just who they were. But my college professors, I was quitting college to start this, and they were, oh, absolutely, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. I had a girlfriend told me not to do it. We were originally going to have a partner.
He backed out.
He backed out. Actually, two partners backed out.
Yeah.
And actually, it was good that everybody else backed out.
Yeah.
Because it worked better this way.
But I guess we kind of looked at it as what's the worst that could happen? And honestly, what's the worst that could happen?
Yes.
We'd have been in debt and we'd owed a lot of money back.
Yes.
So we just had to work that off somewhere and then...
And it wouldn't have been that much money.
No.
We didn't have that much money and nobody borrowed us any, so...
Well, that's true. And at 19, you got the time to make some mistakes at that age, you know?
Yes.
So what if I had to work 3 years to pay off all that debt before I made any money again for myself and then go forward from there again, you know?
Okay.
PennyMustard.com.
Ready to downsize and move from your longtime home? Call Bruce's team today. Their senior real estate specialists will guide you every step of the way. Go from overwhelmed to I can do this. 262-242-6177. Bruce'sTeam.com.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, best-selling author and executive producer of a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you are over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, 1-800-578-3535. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. No credit card required. Call right now. 1-800-578-3535. That's 1-800-578-3535. Again, 1-800-578-3535.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Welcome back to Steve and Carole on WTMJ.
A lot of people beating me up, Carole, on the coupon thing. My wife even still does that.
Yeah.
No more pay. I just had this conversation with a teammate on Friday. I print one piece of paper now. Everything else is either in my brain or on my screens. There's no reason to print all this paper anymore.
Yeah. Okay, but Steve, how are people supposed to save money then on their groceries and things like that if they can't use a paper coupon?
Digital coupons. Anything that's currently done with paper needs to be in digital.
But here's the thing.
Here's my phone. Boom.
Okay. Have you ever watched Extreme Couponing? You should.
Of course not. I can't believe you asked me that question. Yeah, I spent an hour watching Extreme Couponing.
I think it's fascinating. But the thing is that you can't argue. And I from experience, I stood behind a woman who was arguing for $1 on a potato chip bag because the app on her phone said something different than what the machine at the store was ringing up. She made such a scene. And I'm standing there with my... You can't argue with what the coupon says, the paper coupon.
Who says?
It says right there, 75 cents off of 2. Right there.
Unless it's Old Dutch potato chips, I'm not arguing for $1. Old Dutch, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's the best chip. Okay. America's best chip.
No, I'm disagreeing with you.
Trust me on that. Old Dutch, best chips. I don't care, Frito-Lay, Lay's.
I brought them in for you.
Yes.
I did bring some in for you.
And then we got a lovely gift from Old Dutch, which was very much appreciated. You weren't here that day.
I didn't get any of that, love.
You did.
It was delicious.
It was amazing.
Well, I know where I stand.
Well, you weren't here that day.
I don't care. Put some away.
I thought we did. I thought we did tuck some away.
No.
Oh, you know what happened? We tucked them away, and then we found them like 3 months later.
Tucked them away in my backpack and took them home. Yes. Onion and garlic for days.
Onion and garlic. Oh, my goodness. Come on, Carole. They're the best.
I wouldn't know. I wasn't part of the package.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. There was a snafu.
God,
a snafu in the saving process.
You know, I come here to escape how my family treats me.
All right,
and you guys are beating me up.
All right, we're going to escape. We have a great story after the break about a landlord who I think has way too much power. We'll get to that one. And veganism and landlording.
Okay.
I'm not linking those two things, but I'm going to. The news is next.
More of Steve and Carole next on WTMJ.
Hey, former radio wake-up guy Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. If that recent cold snap made you think that now is the time to replace those drafty old windows, then now is a good time to call Hometown Windows and Doors. Save heating costs now, cooling dollars down the road with energy-efficient replacement windows and doors from Hometown. Hometown offers the brands you trust like Anderson, Pella, Marvin, Softlight, and more in wood, vinyl, and fiberglass. And all of their products are installed by employee carpenters. Plus, Hometown is the area's only Pella Platinum and Marvin authorized replacement company. Hometown's dedicated consultants can guide you to the best fit and value for your home and your remodeling dollar. Stop in at their newly remodeled showroom in New Berlin and see the Hometown difference for yourself. Or call them for a no-pressure in-home consultation, 414-329-1200, or visit them at hometownwindows.com. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Do what you want, because a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
All right, you can stop swinging your sword. Our coverage of the Pirates' invasion of Milwaukee starts at 6 with Brewers warm-up. We are the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
11:01, we have 72 degrees, mostly sunny today with highs 76 lakeside and 82 inland. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. A shelter-in-place order in Cudahy has been lifted. This after police officers believe they were being shot at. It began late last night. Police were called to an area near Carpenter and Packard Avenue, investigating a report of someone jumping from one rooftop to another. When they arrived, they believe they were being shot at. TMJ4's Elaine Rojas Castillo has more from the scene.
Police sent out a statement saying that officers had reported hearing gunshots and they believe that they were being shot at. 2 police officers were then pinned down per their words and then were rescued by the South Shore Joint Tactical Unit's armored vehicle.
No word about the location of the shooter. 5 people dead and dozens injured following a violent weekend all over the country. More than 20 people were shot, 1 to death at a gathering near Chicago. Other shootings claim victims in Washington State, St. Louis, Southern California, Baltimore, and Pennsylvania, where a state trooper was killed during an attack on state police barracks. A car-to-car shooting on the streets of San Francisco leaves a trail of flying glass and gunshot wounds near a popular tourist area.
Racing through San Francisco Sunday, 2 vehicles, occupants exchanging gunfire. Half a dozen bystanders injured on a mile-long path near the Embarcadero, including a 10-year-old. Police Chief Bill Scott.
3 were injured from glass shards from errant gunfire. 2 people, as they were walking their bikes across the street, were struck. One of those young girls was struck. And then we had 2 gunshot victims.
Scott doesn't think this is random.
This appears to be a targeted incident between the individuals involved.
And he says he expects there will be a lot of video of the incident, including cell phone footage, to help police find the shooters. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken in China, where he had a 35-minute meeting with President Xi Jinping. ABC's Matt Rivers tells us this meeting caps off a period of cresting tensions between the 2 countries.
Major flashpoints in the relationship have erupted in recent months. In particular, U.S. policy toward Taiwan angering China. A Chinese warship coming within 150 yards of a U.S. destroyer this month as it sailed in international waters through the Taiwan Strait, a move China called provocative. And in the skies above, a Chinese fighter jet buzzing a U.S. plane in a move the Pentagon called dangerous and unnecessary.
Today is Juneteenth, holiday marking the end of slavery in the U.S. 1017 The Truth's Telly Hughes tells Wisconsin's Morning News there's a lot of history behind the holiday.
There's so much more to the story, and I encourage people to try to get educated on it. It's not just some made-up holiday that just came up about 2 or 3 years ago. It has a deep history.
Celebrations being held in Milwaukee and across the country. News is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management's Money Talk, heard Saturdays at 10 right here on WTMJ. Sports, traffic, and weather are next, citing a limited WTMJ News Time 11:04.
What's the way to build your wealth?
While going over a new client's statements from one of the big financial firms, I was floored when I read that firm does not offer tax or estate planning advice. Because we know that saving money for our clients on their taxes, legally and well within the law, can make a huge difference in their financial plan. If you want to wisely build your wealth, it is my firm opinion that without a comprehensive approach, you're going to be at a big disadvantage. At Financial Strategies, Inc., we're taking a deep dive and creating comprehensive strategies that develop your retirement, investment, and your tax and estate planning. And all under a fee-only structure that means the success we care about most is yours. I'm Jim Cantrell, and I believe we can show you a wiser way to build your wealth. So go to FinancialStrategiesInc.com and schedule a no-cost consultation.
Financial strategies, a wiser way to build your wealth.
CPAP is one option that can be used to keep the throat open at night. It can work. There are other ways of keeping that airway open other than the machine. Another option that most people have never heard of is an oral appliance. An oral appliance is like a retainer that you wear when you sleep at night. It's super slim, slides in your mouth, and what it does is it helps to keep your airway open. That's exactly what a CPAP machine does. Most people who are good candidates for a CPAP machine to treat their sleep apnea are also good candidates for an oral appliance. Most of those people never get offered an oral appliance. Advent has decided to change the practice of medicine in this country by offering oral appliances to our patients, and what what that means is we are allowing our patients to have the choice of a CPAP machine, oral appliance when they have sleep apnea, and that's a big deal.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventNose.com.
For a WTMJ Sports
The Milwaukee
Update.
Brewers scored 4 runs in the 8th inning on their way to the 5-2 win over the Pirates on Sunday afternoon to complete the weekend series sweep, winning their 3rd game in a row. Next up for the first-place crew is the first-place Arizona Diamondbacks tonight to begin a 3-game set over at American Family Field. Coverage gets underway at 6:35. The Washington Wizards are finalizing a trade to send 3-time All-Star guard Bradley Beal to the Phoenix Suns for a package that is expected to include Chris Paul, Landry Shamet, as well as several second-round picks and picks swap. And lastly, to golf, as Wyndham Clark held off Rory McIlroy, Scottie Scheffler, and Ricky Fowler in the final round to win the 123rd U.S. Open. I'm Brandon Snide, WTMJ Sports.
Take a look at your roads now with your Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Some of those earlier incidents have cleared up, including that crash on I-41 northbound. That has been cleared. It was blocking one lane and a shoulder. We still do have delays, though, I-43 northbound and southbound between downtown and Brown Deer Road. Usually that's about an 11-minute drive. That's taking anywhere from 14 to about 20 minutes this morning. Your WTMJ 5-day forecast, mostly sunny today, high 76 to 82. Clear tonight, low 60. Sunshine tomorrow and Wednesday, highs both days in the upper 70s to about 84 inland. Thursday, mostly sunny, high 77 to 83. And Friday, partly cloudy, high 76 lakeside and 83 inland. Right now in Milwaukee, we're about 72 degrees. Madison, 78. Green Bay, 76. I'm Connie Weber, citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 11:08.
The biggest issues, the biggest stories, the biggest forum for talking about what matters. Now broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue. It's Monday with Steve and Carole.
Indeed it is, on this Juneteenth day, commemorating the end of slavery in the United States. There's parade still ongoing, 2 hours plus on the streets of Milwaukee.
Yeah, the Christmas parade went 2 hours.
Yeah, it's a big. I mean,
that's
still
a big parade.
Still have groups coming through. 52nd annual Juneteenth Day Parade and celebrations carried live. If you're interested, on TMJ4 in Milwaukee, our partners. Carole, on this next story,
yeah,
I read the headline. I go, this is not right. This cannot be right.
Okay, so it's so outrageous you don't believe that it's real?
Yeah, it's more the subhead, but here's what it's New York Times. This $5,750 a month Brooklyn apartment has a smell test. Subhead.
It had a price test, if you ask me.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Jeez. New Yorkers are used to finding quirky situations when apartment hunting, but a ban on cooking meat and fish in the building might be a new one. Are you kidding me?
Well, it seems weird to me, because how do you put the kibosh on that? Because there are so many loopholes that you can jump through to get it. Okay, what she's going, so it's vegan. She wants everybody to be vegan?
Yeah, because the landlords are vegan. They've been doing this since 2007. And they're basically, the language is no meat and or fish in the building. Now, some of the renters have said they've ordered in food, so I'm not sure how that works. But according to the city of New York, there's a city's human rights law.
Okay.
It allows landlords to consider these 14 characteristics, and I'm not going to read them all, but age, race, family status, job, source of income, sexual orientation. There's no language in there that talks about what you eat or the smell of meats or fish cooking. But unless it's specifically forbidden in that human rights law, apparently it's okay and it's legal. I'm like, I'm not having that.
It just, I suppose if it's...
I'd move in just to cook the fish all the time and make them smell it.
Okay, one, I suppose if it's your place and you own the building, I suppose you can dictate a little bit. But I will tell you this, that at $6,000 a pop a month, I'm cooking whatever I damn well please.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing in a bucket of chicken that's going to stink up the entire joint.
The owner, Michael Aria Lehrer, refused to speak to a reporter, and Ms. Kelly and her employers at Douglas Elliman declined to comment. But Ms. Lehrer's ex-husband, who co-owns the building and is also a vegan, what is going on with people? So they both refused to rent to carnivores.
That makes us sound like cavemen.
Yeah, exactly, right? Since buying the house in 2007, the ex-husband, Mahdi, says it's not about discrimination. You have to fit into the building. That's not the way it works. There's no fitting into the building.
I'm going to only fit into the building if I'm vegan?
Yeah.
Okay, I
don't care if people want to be vegan.
Sure.
Knock yourself out. But if I don't want to be, I have a right to live in an apartment building.
Then I guess we got to find a different apartment building, because I wouldn't even make an appointment to go and see one of these apartments at all. It's their one bedrooms, and they've got a kitchen for $4,500 to $5,750 a month. No,
I'm going to eat whatever I want. I'm going to lie about it and say, yeah, I'm not going to cook those, and I'm going to move in, and then I'm going to cook it every night.
So
I'm going to poke them in the eye.
You stick by your guns. Now, what's to stop? Now, here's another little loophole. Now, we already know we can bring food in, so I can bring in my Jersey Mike sub with all the ham and capicola and all that kind of stuff. And then I can bring in a bucket of chicken.
Yeah.
But what's to stop me from having a Weber? Look, I'm talking with my hands like crazy. What's to stop me from parking a Weber outside the building and cooking up a couple of chicken legs?
Yeah.
It's not in the building.
Where's the enforcement? Were they going to kick you out? So what if they knock on the door? Hey, what are you cooking there? Vegetables. Get out of here. No, it doesn't. It smells like no. It's vegetables. It's asparagus. Stop knocking on my door. No.
But don't some of those? I'd have to talk to a vegan. Maybe somebody will write in. But don't some of the alternative like meats have like a smell that would also?
Of course. Here's the other thing.
Yeah.
Some of these vegans now, eating something that resembles meat is also bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how crazy this stuff's getting. If it looks like a hamburger, why would I eat that? Why would I simulate something that I don't eat normally?
Because I
don't know, because it tastes good and you can eat a hamburger? How about that?
I can only eat so many nuts. Seriously.
Lettuce, nuts, beans, legumes.
That's funny. We both went at the same time. I just, it just doesn't make any sense to me. And once again, if you want to be a vegan, that's great. I just know that I could not follow that lifestyle. And the apartment could look like the Taj Mahal, and I had that kind of jack, but I'm not going for that lifestyle, even for that kind of an apartment, because of that one. There's got to be another one that exists someplace else, and it's Brooklyn. Come on, you're in Brooklyn.
I've been in New York City a bunch of times.
Yeah, I've been to Brooklyn too.
I'm not paying $57.50 for an apartment in a building where I can't cook meat or fish.
I do once again wonder if you put the Weber outside.
How do they enforce this?
What are they going to come and just fling your chicken legs over the fence?
Let's play it out. So after the knocks, it's asparagus. Go away. Then the police come. Please open your door. Please open your door. Are you cooking meat and fish? And I go, yeah. What
don't they have better things to worry about in New York City?
Of course they do. And the cop's going to go, what's wrong? What's wrong here? He's cooking a burger on his grill. What are you bothering him for? I'm a vegan. So he goes to the lady. Who cares? He's not. Enjoy the burger. Get out of here.
There must be some kind of, you must have to sign off on it in the contract.
Oh, my goodness.
Seriously, you must have to sign on to it. There must be some legal ramifications if you break the contract.
It's not in the story.
I just, if you know what, I'm just going to say this. Life without prime rib or a good hamburger is a sad life. I'm sad if I can't have. Now, don't write if you're a vegan. That's just Carole talking. I love hamburgers and I love prime rib, and I would be sad if it was taken away from me.
How about this? Are we going to have carnivore apartment buildings where you can only eat meat? No vegans. Vegans need. You think that would be a lawsuit? I think it would be. Vegans need not apply. How about that?
Well, that would be one I would check out. The carnivore one. Yeah. And I understand. Listen, I know I eat too much meat. All right?
Meat sweats Friday. Everybody cooks a big steak on their grill. We're all meat sweating.
At this particular juncture, I've probably eaten a farm. You know what I mean? I've got between the chickens and the pigs and the cows.
Now I'm going to get all these letters that say, why are you so hard on vegans? Because of stuff like this. Because of stuff like you can't eat something because it resembles the thing you don't eat. That's just dumb.
I would love for somebody...
I'm tired of vegans. Let me just say, I'm tired of them. They're nonsense.
Well, I'm not quite there because I would love for somebody to make a vegan meal and bring it to me so I could really taste... Now, I understand there's a place out in Brookfield that's vegan that's supposed to be delicious. I don't know, but...
do they accept regular customers like meat eaters, or do they have to stay outside while the vegans eat?
There's
Carnivores need not come in.
There's a fence outside, and you get to look in the windows and watch people
stare at them
eat.
eating asparagus and leaf lettuce. 855-616-1620. I say I'm right on this. This is discriminatory. It should not happen. I don't care if it's New York City, whatever. It should not happen in America.
Well, does stuff like this cross over to pot smokers and regular smokers and stuff like that? Can you demand that they don't do that in your building?
How many of those vegans you think are puffing a joint every day? Probably a lot of them. Trying to get over the fact that they're not satisfied by the leaf lettuce they have to consume in high amounts of.
I don't really want to get on your train right now.
Somebody says I'm passive aggressive. Well, so be it. I think I'm right. Let's take a quick break here in WTMJ.
Don't change that dial. More of Steve and Carole are next on WTMJ. Are you ready to step up to the plate and test your skills?
Hey, bada.
Join Steve every Friday at 10:35 for a rousing round of virtual baseball to win awesome prizes.
Oh, baby.
Steve Scaffidi's Virtual Baseball, presented by Siding Unlimited.
This is what's great about sports. This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game.
Every Friday at 10:35.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scafidi for Educators Credit Union, ECU.com. If you want to find out, like I did last year, now I'm a brand new member. When you open an ECU account, Educators Credit Union, you can say goodbye to surprise fees, Carole, and hello to a whole lot of perks.
Okay.
Like
okay,
rewards.
Okay, more.
Sign me up. Cashback, discounts, card customization. You saw my cool Oak Creek card.
Yes.
You were envious and jealous of it, weren't you?
I still am, yes, but there's nothing I can do about it.
Well, you could move to Oak Creek and get it. Well, you could probably live where you live and get an Oak Creek card. People would say, that doesn't make any sense. Why are you doing that? That's what they would say. With their convenient digital services and nationwide network of over 60,000 fee-free ATMs, not time machines, ATMs.
Okay.
You can also access your account anytime, anywhere. Join ECU.com. Educators Credit Union today. Take advantage of all the benefits that come with a checking account. Get started at ECU.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hey, Fleet Farm fans, you asked, we listened. You wanted lower prices? You got them. In-store, online. We drop prices everywhere. Lower prices on summer favorites like Liquid Pool Shot, Griller's Gold Barbecue Pellets, and Airhead Towables. Lower prices on big name pet care like Purina Tidy Cats. Lower prices on Valvoline motor oils. All because you said so. Look for the bright green price drop signs to find new lower prices on everything you need for everyday life. Only at Fleet Farm.
If you're feeling vibrations in your steering wheel after reaching speeds of over 50 miles per hour, you should bring it into Richlands and let us fix it for you.
If your brakes are making weird noises or feel strange every time you apply them, you should bring it into Richlands and let us fix it for you.
If your engine light is on, you should bring it to Richlands.
And let us fix it for you, because there isn't an auto service repair job on the planet that our service techs can't fix.
Courtney's right. Just check out some of our Google reviews. A whole lot of stars means a whole lot of happy customers.
Proof's in the pudding. So whether you need factory scheduled maintenance
or tires, brakes, and suspension service, we've got your back.
5 conveniently located facilities, all AAA approved,
and all staffed by ASE certified technicians. I'm Brett Matchke, and the next time you're due for service,
bring it into Richlands and let us fix it for you.
Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
Welcome back to Steve and Carole on WTMJ.
Apparently I've angered all the vegans out there. I'm sure they're nice people.
Well, here's the thing. This is a situation where we are ignorant to the fact. I will say I am ignorant to the fact of I don't know what they eat. I've never had one, but I looked this up and it says, what foods make up a vegan diet? Vegan diets are made up of only plant-based foods. The type of diet includes fruits, vegetables, soy, legumes, nuts, nut butters, plant-based dairy alternatives. This is where I take issue. Sprouted or fermented plant foods and whole grain. You cannot tell me that stinky tofu smells worse, and that's the thing. That stinky tofu is an actual thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's fermented tofu.
That's okay, though.
Smells worse than a piece of fish. The vegan diets do not include animal foods like eggs, dairy, meat, poultry, or seafood. They're also devoid of animal byproducts, so they don't drink or eat honey made from bees, and lesser-known animal-based like whey, lactose, egg white albumin, gelatin. It's just somebody please educate me. Isn't that expensive? Wouldn't you? I would think that stuff would be really expensive.
My only point with this is you can do whatever you want, but don't criticize those who don't want to do what you do. And to have an apartment building in the largest city in the country, which basically discriminates, my word, because it's not legally discrimination, yet against people that like to consume meat or fish, it seems a little bit far-fetched in my mind.
Well, and is a vegan, I'm sure there probably are some health issues that are involved and the fact that you decided to be vegan maybe, but I just don't, it's not for me. It's just not for me.
But you would never think of throwing a vegan out of your house because they're vegans. No, of course not.
No, to tell you the truth, if I had somebody that came to my house and was a vegan,
you would respect that.
I would respect and probably go out of my way to make sure that they had stuff that was for their dietary concerns.
As would I.
Right.
And I've had people over to the house and we've made a dish for them or whatever. That's the respectable thing. So all of a sudden, vegans can't honor that pact. They have to say, no, you're excluded from our world. We don't like to smell. What if I don't want to smell asparagus cooking on your grill at 2 a.m.?
It's odd to me for sure. It really is odd to me for sure, especially when you are asking them to pay that kind of money for an apartment. For a one-bedroom apartment, you want $57.50 a month? Oh man,
that's insane. First off, I know it's New York City, but come on.
Well, that alone would stop me from moving into that area. That's why I like where I live. That's way more than I pay for my mortgage for my house. It's like 5 times what I pay for the mortgage of my house. It's crazy.
So one of the couples that came to view this place said, well, that's okay. We'll just order in. So apparently there is some sort of a loophole, but you said it right. And a texter asked, what if you reheat your meat? You put it in the old microwave.
There's so many loopholes that can, and I'm with you in the fact that I don't know how they enforce this, because if you call the cops, they're gonna laugh you off the face of the earth.
They're gonna say, "Stop wasting our time, vegan."
Well, if this is your lifestyle and this is how you feel, and you feel healthier, and great, knock yourself out. But this just seems wrong that you can exclude the rest of the world because they don't follow your guidelines. It just seems wrong.
Of course it is. It's discriminatory.
I don't know. It just doesn't sit right with me. And like I said,
I'm being tolerant of vegans. They're not being tolerant of carnivores. And they're labeling us as carnivores, first off. Come on.
Well, that's kind of a slap in the face.
You mean like how people ate since the beginning of the man roaming Earth?
Yeah. I'm not walking around in a woolly mammoth onesie sitting in front of a campfire with a big buffalo leg.
I find vegans generally be less than tolerant people anyway. And that's an overstatement and a stereotype, but I just find that the ones I know.
And
they're judgmental, just like me.
I think overall, we've gotten so judgmental of everything and everybody. It's just like, calm down, okay? Let's just not get so carried away with how nitpicking on everybody else's little picadillos over because you're weird too.
Okay, so this is weird times 10. Good morning. I went to Skechers shoe store and they have vegan shoes. What?
You want to know something? I think that Stan's might have something like that too.
So no animal products in the shoe, basically is what it is. No leather.
No leather. So what is it? What do they make them out? Oh, I know. They make them out of hemp. I'll put 90% because these people in that article too, they said that most of these people will go for hemp-based clothing, shoes, and hemp-based stuff that's for like furniture and stuff.
I think they do that with makeup too. The no testing on animals.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. That's true. But and I'm not listen, I'm not going there. I'm not going to go there. But I just think that that's probably what they do is all hemp-based stuff.
I learned something today, that you can discriminate against meat eaters if you're a vegan. To me, that doesn't seem right, but I'm not the owner of the building.
You're not the owner of the building, and you're not a vegan, and so, of course, we don't understand. We don't get it, but at least I think we're being pretty honest in the fact of saying, I don't get it.
Yeah, and as a texter says very well, it's more bacon for the rest of us. Celebrate that bacon. I agree.
I'm actually thinking, to tell you the truth, since I've got something to watch on Netflix when I get home, I have some Bloody Mary mix and I have some leftover bacon from the weekend. I may put some bacon in my Bloody Mary.
There you go.
Just sit outside for a little bit.
As a stir stick. Make it crispy and stir stick that thing.
That's the thing.
All right, any angry vegans out there, you want to dial up 855-616-1620?
Educate me.
Educate us, yeah, or angry. That's after this break, and then we got the news coming up as well with Connie Weber.
Don't go anywhere. Steve and Carole return shortly on WTMJ.
Did you know just one blood donation can save up to 3 people's lives? Hi, WTMJ Sandy Max here. Please join me and our WTMJ Cares initiative to donate blood to those who need it the most. Join us on June 26th, 27th, and 28th as we partner with the American Red Cross and Gruber Law Offices for a blood drive at the Milwaukee County Zoo. Visit WTMJ.com or text BLOOD to 855-616-1620. You can make a difference with WTMJ Cares and me, Sandy Max.
Wealth-changing question. Is your investment portfolio really customized? Some advisors say they customize them, but all they really do is ask you a few questions, then put all your money in a model portfolio. Here at Creative Planning, each of our private wealth management clients' portfolios is unique. Your investment mix will be based on your custom financial plan. If that's not how your money's managed, you're not getting the customization you deserve. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
The only diamond more valuable than colorless
Is the diamond that is colorful.
Pink, yellow, and blue.
In 2016, Christie's auction house sold a 14-karat blue diamond for $56 million.
That's $4 million a carat.
In 2022, Sotheby's auction house sold an 11-karat pink diamond for $57 million.
That's more than $5 million a carat.
These diamonds were born when the Earth was born.
They come from the heart of the earth.
But now there are also pink, yellow, and blue diamonds that were born when you were falling in love.
These created diamonds come from the fiery heart of a miniature sun blazing inside a plasma chamber.
Hot, hot, hot.
Pink, yellow, and blue.
Your colorful 1-carat wonder awaits you for $12,000 or less.
Your colorful 3/4 carat miracle awaits you for $8,000 or less.
Get them while you can.
Welcome to Kessler's.
To find the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for 911 Heating and Air. No sales team, they don't need one. Fixed pricing is listed right on the website, so there is no hidden cost to you. They're experts at affordably overhauling your home's existing AC unit, saving you money. A passion for the craft, the warranty and guarantee, all work done. 143 Google reviews, 4.9 stars. It's 911 Heating and Air, that's who I trust. 911heatusa.com or call 414-HEATING, that's 414-HEATING.
Welcome back to Steve and Carole on WTMJ.
We got news coming up, but I want to get Susan from Milwaukee on the phone here. Hi, Susan.
Hi, Susan.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, good. So you have some vegans in your family.
We do. We have my daughter-in-law and son, and then their 2 young children are vegan. And at first, it was really tough, but I'm a cook, and I like to do chemistry experiments, apparently. So, we accommodated. Sometimes it's a pain. especially on big occasions. But I find it interesting that I always feel the need to really cook for them, and yet when we go to their house, we just all are served vegan.
That's what I was going to ask you. So there's not a reciprocation. That's what bothers me.
Right.
You're doing all the heavy lifting and the accommodating, and this is what I've noticed about vegans. They're not flipping it back and saying, I'll accommodate your eating habits, and that's what bothers me.
Yeah, I think that can be a pain, but it has been a healthy choice for them, and, that's all very good. But, like, who knew that the juice from garbanzo beans whips up into whipped cream?
I didn't know anything about that.
I didn't know that either.
You just broke some news there, Susan from Milwaukee.
It's kind of cool. It's kind of neat. I mean, like, I enjoy the cooking part of it, but so I am accommodating. But it is a pain, especially around Christmas time, large occasions, Easter, Christmas. We want to make the leg of lamb and stuff, and then it's like, okay, what do we make the vegan?
Yeah, sounds like you're a wonderful human being, Susan. So
that's very nice.
You're a better person than I am. Thanks so much for the call. Thanks for listening as well.
So, okay, I know we're late for news, and
That's
I
all right. Go
apologize. So if you want to have a holiday and you've got people that are vegan, that prohibits you from making what the rest of the people want to eat?
It sounds
because of the smell?
That's crazy to me. Why not accommodate everybody? If we're going to get in a world where one side gets all their way, in this case vegans, and then everyone else has to accommodate, but you don't flip the script and say, I'm going to accommodate their eating habits, I think that's disingenuous and actually not very nice.
No, it's not very nice because I am going to make my leg of lamb. And you can have your beans and your legumes, but I'm going to have my leg of lamb.
I love this. Somebody sent me, Lori sent me, and the sign said, meat-eating freaky people need not apply.
Oh,
so
there
I
you
put
go.
my chicken leg up under my hat, and I went in to ask him why. He said, you look like a fine, outstanding young man. I think you'll do. So I took off my hat and said, imagine that, me living near you. She took the famous song and made a meat-eating reference. Good stuff, Lori.
Right.
That's
that's a big song, yeah.
We are late for news from our Breaking News Center. Connie Weber.
Thanks, Steve. Although this Juneteenth is the last day to see the original Emancipation Proclamation document in person at the National Archives for a while, the museum says it'll soon be on permanent display. Plans in the works to have the Emancipation Proclamation exhibited alongside the Constitution and Declaration of Independence. Curators are now working on the best ways to ensure the document's preserved and maintained for visitors to see year-round. A submersible used to take tourists to view the wreck of the Titanic missing in the Atlantic Ocean. A search and rescue mission underway, not clear how many are on board. Work set to begin this week on the reconstruction of McKinley Beach near the Water Tower neighborhood. Study completed in 2020 found higher water levels, and the beach's design was contributing to dangerous swimming conditions following several drownings that year. After several options were considered, Milwaukee County Board of Supervisors settled on hauling in several tons of sand to return the beach to a water depth of 2 feet compared to the current 6 feet depth. Time for news about your money at the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Markets are closed today because of the Juneteenth holiday. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button today. Take a look now at your roads with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. The only major delays we have now are still I-43 north and southbound between Brown Deer Road to downtown, but those delays are lessening just a bit. Northbound, it's about a 13-minute drive. Southbound, it's going to take you closer to 20 minutes this morning.
Traffic is sponsored by Trees on the Move. From planning to planting, it's Trees on the Move. We all look forward to outdoor living in Wisconsin. From planning to planting and everything in between, now is the perfect time to let Trees on the Move beautify your landscape.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast, mostly sunny today, high 76 to 82, and an overnight low of 60. Sunshine tomorrow and Wednesday, highs near in the 77, 78, lakeside, about 84 inland. Thursday, mostly sunny, high 77 to 83. Partly cloudy on Friday, high 76 to about 83 inland. Right now in Kenosha, we're at 74, Milwaukee 72. I'm Connie Weber, Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:35.
I like to think that people listen to the show that are beyond just those folks in Wisconsin and in the surrounding area. So we were talking about this a lot. Dress code for planes. Growing momentum, Carole.
Well, and the article that I sent you, it was from USA Today because it's from the industry itself.
Yes.
It's not just people complaining, it's from the industry, which I think is fascinating.
So take off those pajama pants and all the other nonsense. We're going to clean up our act. That's coming up next on WTMJ.
Hi, this is WTMJ's Jeff Wagner here to tell you about Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattresses. If you are looking for affordable, better quality furniture or mattresses, you've got to do what a couple of my family members did recently. They went to Built Right. When you get to the store, you're going to find a 45,000 square foot showroom with thousands of furniture items in stock, plus 500 mattresses. This includes a huge selection of USA and Amish-made furniture, plus better quality imported furniture for any size home. Also, check out Built Right's over 48 models of in-stock power lift recliners. Special and custom orders are much faster in 2023. Free in-store design services available too. And now's a great time to get to Built Right as their USA-made sale store-wide is on now. Built Right, voted best place to shop and winner of the Home Furnishings Association's 2023 National Retailer of the Year Award. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday they're closed to be with family. When you get there, tell them WTMJ's Jeff Wagner sent you to locally and family-owned Built Right, 5430 West Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
Grandview buys homes, and if you have a loved one's home that you need to sell, Grandview will make that process simple, fast, and stress-free. Grandview Homes will give you a no-obligation fair cash offer in as little as 24 hours. Whether it's your home, a loved one's home, a rental, a vacant, or a second home, we buy all homes completely as is. No repairs whatsoever. Take just the belongings you wish to keep and leave the stress and the mess to us. Sell your home as is today. GrandviewHomes.com.
If you're like me, you always like to add a little something new to the wardrobe. But when money's tight, it makes it harder. And that's why you shop at St. Vincent de Paul for a terrific selection of women's clothing at thrift store prices. Brand names, too, with a selection that's always up to date and looking great. You're going to find something cute at the right price, and you're going to love it. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, and 23rd in Lincoln in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Welcome back to Steve and Carole on WTMJ.
All right, we've talked about this a lot, Carole, about dress codes. I'm a huge fan. And behavior codes while we're at it. Because people have treated it like a city bus, and I've had enough of it, and I don't want to smell you, I don't want to hear you, I don't want to have to get deviated from my route because you're acting like a child on a plane or worse, violence. So I think this is a good first step, and I think when you're talking about a dress code for flying, some of this is already in place. American Airlines. And it's a code of conduct more than a dress code. But it does mention dress. No bare feet, which is an actual thing on American Airlines. No bare feet. Knock it off with the bare feet.
Well, yeah, I don't know why in the world you would want to. Once again, we've made it clear that they do the best to try and clean their plane when they're making their transfer, but you can't scrub those floors every single time, and I'm not going into
disgusting.
Could you imagine going into the bathroom on a jumbo jet barefooted?
I saw someone do this on an international flight. You have to be kidding me. Are you serious? Yes. Delta. No conduct, attire, hygiene, or odor can create an unreasonable risk of offense or annoyance to other passengers. Also, no bare feet. Southwest doesn't allow anyone on the plane who wears clothes that are lewd, obscene, or patently offensive. Bare feet are also not allowed unless you're under 5 years old, which I'm fine with.
Right.
Or have a disability.
But I don't want my little kid walking around barefooted. There's so much comfort stuff that you can find to put on the feet.
Yeah, most parents would put sandals on their kid. But again, not everybody's a genius. Let's just start with that. But here's why I mention these specifics.
Yeah.
Because like everything else in our society or culture, community, the rules kind of get scrubbed away, just fade away. Like, I'll do what I want. Thanks for reminding me, but I'll do my own thing.
Well, and I understand wanting to be comfortable. I always want to be comfortable on a plane too. Unless I was traveling for business, then I would make sure that I was presentable because I usually had listeners with me. But I'm not schlubbing in with my fuzzy slippers and my, Hot Topic sleep pants.
Yeah, no pajamas, no slippers.
No, I don't understand why it's so difficult. I would even go so far as to saying, you want to wear some scrub pants on? I'm fine. If that's the deal.
Yeah, as long as they're clean.
Right. But I don't know. Whatever happened to being presentable? I always just think
because everyone's train of thought now in this country of complainers is You can't tell me what to do. You can't tell me when to show up for work. You can't tell me how to act at work. You can't tell me how to dress for work, and just apply that to planes.
God, how did I miss that phase?
Right?
I'm too structured. I really am. I think sometimes there's something wrong with me because I follow the rules so stringently, maybe to a fault.
So they talked in the article that we're referencing. It's usatoday.com, and the headline is "Leave the Sweatpants at Home: Why We Need a Dress Code for Flying," written by Christopher Elliott. I scrolled down a bit, and they talked to a pilot, and this is interesting. So the pilot is, I'm not sure what airline, but it's Ken Schulte. 2 reasons why we need a more formal dress code. Well-dressed people never cause drama on a flight. This is from the pilot of the plane.
Okay. I'm not going to...
Second,
yeah,
well-dressed passengers get treated better. So your dress can actually influence how you're treated, which would probably make you a happier flyer. So you're not...
Boy, I never even really thought
I didn't
of that.
either. That's why I think this is a great story.
Yeah.
Here's another one. Better dressed, polite passengers get more upgrades, freebies, and respect from the cabin crew. How about that?
Well, I will say, and I'm just because I am who I am, whenever I walk into a plane, I'm sure you're probably like that, and they're standing there and they're greeting you.
Mm-hmm.
I always look in the cockpit and say, "Not too fast, guys. Thank you very much." And then, "Thanks for doing this. I appreciate it. Get me to my destination safe." And boom, they're like, "Yeah, hey, no problem."
As someone who used to fly nearly every week in the private sector for probably 20 years, I was on a lot of planes.
Yeah, you were.
And I wasn't flying first class. I was in coach.
Okay.
Or whatever that general seating, whatever it is now.
With the regular people?
With the regular people. A couple of times I got first class, but that was luck more than anything else. And here's what I learned. If you're respectful, polite, generous with the people around you on the plane or the people working, flight attendants, pilots, they will respect you back.
You know, in addition, I would like more airlines. This goes outside of the dress code thing. I want more airlines to refuse embarking on a plane if it's visibly clear that you've been sitting at the bar for a while.
Yeah.
I have no problem with them looking at you. And listen, when I did fly, there's nothing I like better when I'm starting a vacation to sit at the bar and have a Bloody Mary or a screwdriver or something and just, oh, my vacation's starting. Great. But that's where it ends. That's where it ends. But, you know, some of these people just sit there for an hour, 2 hours, and just get soused. And I don't want them on my plane because the probability of an actual interaction between them and the flight attendant is pretty high.
I mean, as part of the prep for this little story, I've been looking at videos of people misbehaving on planes, and some of the things they get cranked up about are worthy of a 10-second conversation.
I know.
Stop doing that.
Right.
But instead, it escalates where people are standing up on a plane, screaming across the skies at 500 miles an hour or higher, pushing each other, fighting each other.
Right.
And you've got, 4 flight attendants? They're supposed to wrangle this situation and resolve it?
Yeah. No, it's crazy. It really is crazy. And some of the stuff and what am I getting arrested for? Didn't we have that story where some guy was making a big scene and all of a sudden when they finally came in, when they landed, what am I getting arrested for?
Yeah.
Really?
He had no idea, even though everybody else
You're
did.
an idiot.
855-616-1620. I'm all in on this. And if we can clean up the act, which it is, an act of people who think this is their bathroom versus a plane that we're all flying on to a destination that we're all going to the same place, and act like a responsible flyer, I think this is more than appropriate. And you can disagree, and we'd love to hear from you, 855-616-1620. Quick break here on WTMJ.
More of Steve and Carole next on WTMJ.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, best-selling author and executive producer of a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you are over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, 1-800-578-3535. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. No credit card required. Call right now. 1-800-578-3535. That's 1-800-578-3535. Again, 1-800-578-3535.
We see some patients who come in and they have been in just so much pain for so long that they are just deflated.
But that's about to change because QC Kinetics provides hope for relief using all new regenerative treatments that concentrate your body's own healing properties into aching hips, back, shoulders, and knees. And Dr. Zuckerman, a medical director at QC Kinetics, loves watching the patient transformations.
One of the most amazing things is when I get to see a patient who, after a few months of our treatments, is just a completely different person. They are smiling and happy, and the weight of the world is off their shoulders because we were able to take away their pain.
And that's with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime.
It's just amazing to be able to change people's lives like that. It's very gratifying.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Humans can do a lot of amazing things. Fighting bugs isn't one of them. STEM is powered by active ingredients found in plants to fight off bugs safely and effectively. Use as directed. STEM, rooted in nature, optimized by science.
James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. JamesImaging.com.
I've been fixing AC systems almost my whole life. So when it comes to which system I would put in my own home and which of those I wouldn't, I have a pretty good eye. And that's why I want our folks at Quality Heating talking about Armstrong Air Pro Series AC systems, which have a 2-stage scroll compressor that runs longer, gentler cooling cycles at low capacity during mild weather, and switches to full capacity on hotter days. That's efficiency, and it all adds up. So see the man in the red van.
Quality Heating, Quality Heating.
When summer heat arrives, there's nothing better than walking into a nice, properly cooled home. And if that system's working right, there's not a lot of things that can be more refreshing. But when your AC's on the fritz, it's worse than the pits. And that's when you call the man in the red van. This is Anthony Zanevsky with Quality Heating. We have one of the largest HVAC fleets in Wisconsin. And that means fast emergency service for you 24/7, 365.
Quality Heating, Quality Heating.
This is Steve and Carole on Wisconsin's radio station, WTMJ.
I always try to give the alternate response, questioning, feedback. This is from Jim. Dress codes are imperfect. Dress codes have been used to discriminate by imposing standards that favor certain groups or perpetuate stereotypes. They can target marginalized communities, enforce gender norms, and hinder personal expression, leading to unequal treatment and exclusion based on appearance or cultural practices. That's like right out of a book. But I get it.
Okay.
But if it's the same standard, here's where people fall down. If it's the same standard implemented fairly to all people, then it's not discriminatory. If you're picking out one group over another group, then that's discriminatory. And
Right.
that is not fair.
Right.
That's the
Okay.
standard.
Yeah.
It's a high standard, but you have to meet that. But all I'm saying is listen to the experts, the pilots, airline industry experts who say this goes a long way to making our planes safer.
I got to listen to them. It's like anything else. I once again, even when they're given the instructions and showing me where the lights are and the exit rows and stuff like that, or if it's on an international flight and the screen pops up, I'm looking at it. I'm making sure I know where I got to go in case we are in a crisis situation. And that person up there, those two people wearing the same uniform, they're going to help me get down.
Michael on the Old National Bank talking text line. This is a common thing I've seen on planes. There was a young woman boarding in front of us wearing a bikini with a sheer cover-up and flip-flops. Looked like the only thing she was carrying was a phone. which she had her boarding pass on. She didn't have any carry-on, nothing at all. A bikini.
No. I don't care if you're coming from the equator and it's hotter than the fires of you know what. No, put something on over your bikini. And she would argue the fact that it was this little mesh cover up. Put a pair of pants on over and put a shirt on. You're fine. The fact that that's a woman who wants everybody to see her goods. That's exactly what it is.
I'm glad you said that.
I'm calling it like I'm telling the truth. That's a woman who wants to strut her stuff.
So every time we have this dress code conversation, it's always the pushback is discriminatory or I'm going to do what I want. You can't tell me what to do. The simple fact is when you're on a plane or in a school or in a business or in a restaurant, they can make the rules. They can refuse to seat you if they have valid reasons to do so.
Right.
Behavior, dress, conduct.
I have no problem with that.
This isn't controversial. We've kind of faded all these things out of so where people can just show up. I was at a nice restaurant on Friday night.
Yeah. What'd you say?
People that are dressed far too casually for me. I don't like that. I think it disrespects the place you're going to.
If I'm going to a nice restaurant, I don't want the guy next to me thinking he's an NBA player. You're not, okay?
Yeah.
You know, you got the jersey, the shorts, the socks, the shoes. Trust me, you're 5'6". You're not playing in the NBA. Put something on.
Don't show up at church. Don't show up at a restaurant. Don't show up at school. And don't fly on a plane if you look like you're going to work out. Or you have just worked out.
I don't mind like decent workout pants or yoga pants or something like that with tennis shoes and a decent top. I don't mind that at all. I don't want the pajama pants. I don't want the fuzzy slippers. And I don't certainly want somebody in a bikini sitting next to me.
Well, maybe. But so somebody asked, what are you wearing? I've got dress pants and a Packers polo shirt on. That's more than dressed up enough for being on the radio.
Totally fine. Yeah.
So that's what I'm wearing.
Yeah, and
And Carole's always, you never dress down. You're always dressed up.
Yeah, I got a pair of jeans on and a lace vest and boots and
very
ready
nice.
ready to go. Thank you.
Brandon's wearing sweatpants, which got sweatpants or shorts?
Sweat shorts.
Sweat shorts. He's got.
It's a
he
hoodie
always
and shorts
wears
day,
shorts.
as it should be every day. The most comfortable outfit ever.
Yeah, so he's about comfort, not dress code. But that's the unique Brandon thing that he does, which you do you.
That's right.
All right, let's see what Jeff Wagner's going to do after this on WTMJ.
Don't go anywhere. Steve and Carole return shortly.